Yeah.
But then these bring it together.
The black.
Weird, but the bronze.
Yeah.
You got like the contrast of everything.
The bronze,
and
yeah.
you got this like little chandelier right here, just
Yeah.
It gives it almost like a cool 1920s like New York.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Old school bar vibe.
A fucking New York old school bar vibe.
Well, and
Varbibe.
Varbibe.
Fuck yeah.
Little
You
speakeasy.
know how to swing dance?
Swing dance?
All right, man.
You know how to swing?
Yeah,
past my
I don't know how
time.
to swing.
Are you a swinger?
Are you a swinger, dude?
I mean,
you like pineapple,
shit.
bro? I don't know, man. That's a little zesty, son.
Hey, bro. You know how it is? We zestify shit over here.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
We turn shit upside down and then throw it up and then fuck it up. And then we suck it off.
Fuck yeah. Suck yeah.
Fuck yeah, suck yeah. We say what the fuck ever on this podcast. You've never been on this podcast?
I mean, I do live in Ohio, so no. No,
I
man.
had to think about it. I don't recall you being on this podcast ever, but
Nah, he sent me to it back when y'all first started doing it, though.
Oh, really?
He was talking about those people that started the roofing company.
oh
That was
yeah.
like one of the earlier
What's his
ones,
name?
right?
Yeah.
Brev, I think.
Brev.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
Brev and Robert.
Yeah. Have y'all
Yeah.
talked to him recently?
No.
No.
Nope.
Damn, that's crazy.
I tried to hit him up.
Really?
I actually tried to reach out to him twice, and they left me on red.
Holy shit.
For real.
On to other things, I guess.
On to other
They're-
things.
They're just busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
gotta
we
be,
could
man.
say that. We
Yeah.
can say that they're just busy.
Yeah.
I would
Make
like to
ourselves-
think that.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Because I think that maybe it had to also do something with because there was people that said something about them on the podcast, maybe.
Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back. That's
Oh, I think that your mic's off.
no, it's on.
Oh, it's on?
Yeah,
Just
is
not
it
turned
not
up?
working?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
there,
there we
it
go.
is.
That's cool.
Yeah, there it is.
But it's like that's one thing I always wondered about is like in the future, like
Uh-huh.
if it eventually once it gains a lot of traction, you're gonna have people going back and looking for things to say.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I think that it was like, I think the way that they do things, they post things like Brev posts things on his Instagram and shit, and he does more serious shit. Like he doesn't do full podcasts like this, but he does more serious shit. And
So like short form content.
yeah, whenever he
Yeah.
got on the podcast, we really didn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
because
It
we
was
don't
more
give
like
a fuck.
fun. It was
Right.
more like
Yeah.
for fun.
It's more for fun. Yeah, we do this shit for fun. Like I'll do an interview with somebody. Like I started
Yeah.
doing interviews now, and that's what I would do with people now if they wanted to do something more serious and they just wanted to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
But like on the podcast, we just bullshit the fuck out of these
Right,
podcasts.
yeah.
Like we don't give a fuck on
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
we
It's
just say
about
what the hell ever.
Yeah.
It's like
And-
no rhyme or reason. It's just kind
Yeah.
of like off the rip.
Yeah.
Just some, normal conversations.
Yeah.
But since nobody wants to hit me back up, then everything's just open for interpretation now.
People get busy, like Seth said. So.
Yeah.
Permanently busy.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck though. It's cool with me.
Yeah, man.
we're on to cooler
Yeah,
things.
exactly.
Part of life.
Part of life. Yeah, we fucking with Evan up in his bitch.
Oh yeah, had to make a trip out here. Glad
Yeah.
y'all can make it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate
Out
it.
here in Asheville,
In the little speakeasy at the B&B.
Yeah.
bro. This is fucked.
Yeah, you don't see like. Not only do you see speakeasies too often anymore, but not even in the house. Like that's kind of
No,
kind
never.
of outlandish. Like we saw that on Airbnb, and it's like that's fucking crazy.
That's
like we need to
fucking
get that
crazy.
shit
Yeah.
and see what it's about.
Yeah, we got Benjamin Franklin bubbling bubbles over here.
I wanted to talk about that actually.
Yeah,
It's cool, but at the same time, I don't know what to think about it.
It's
I mean, that's the whole thing, right? Like you take a serious kind of vibe, right, and put
And
a little
fuck it
weird,
up.
bro. Put
Yeah.
a little weird in it.
Just
Y'all
weird
see
it up.
the Mona Lisa when you're walking down the stairs.
yeah.
She
Yeah.
chewing bubble gum too.
Yeah.
Man, I would probably rather see him like oiled up or some shit. That would be dope.
that would be outlandish.
Outlandishly
I don't know about
fucked.
that one.
That's like
Yeah.
sex dungeon vibes. That ain't speakeasy vibes.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's oil these presidents up.
Yeah, get in the dungeon.
yeah.
Let's oil these presidents up and slap them in the basement.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's,
Damn.
I think this man is just trying to see Joe Biden with some oil.
Oh yeah. Shout out Joe Biden.
yeah.
Joe Byron.
We fuck with you, Joe Biden. Wow, wow.
Somebody had said that if you remove some letters from my name, that I'm Biden, so I should be the next president.
Hey,
That's how it works, right?
shit.
I actually like that a lot.
Yeah.
That actually makes me horny.
Just do some coke.
I mean,
Coke.
I could oil up if you need me to, bro.
I would love for you to oil up
I got you, bro.
right now.
Go ahead to Ingles.
I
You
have
guys have your grocery stores, Ingles. out
I
there in
brought
North Carolina.
oil with me.
That's what's up. That's
We
why
got
you
some-
talking about oil.
We
got
can
some
do it right
canola
now.
oil.
Let's do
No,
it.
we just have regular body oil.
Oh shit.
I thought you were talking about the oil out of your car or something.
We can do that too.
Yeah.
Car oil.
Oil, oil up. We
Give it
want
a
to see.
bronze tone.
We want to see somebody oiled
tanner.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of us has to oil up.
Nose goes.
Oh shit, Seth, you better get oiled up and ready, brother.
Go ahead and start stripping, son.
Hell yeah. You want us to get the oil, or do you want to get it yourself?
I think we're out of milk.
We're here to groom you.
Yeah, milk.
We got a gallon and a half of milk.
We're here
I
to
gotta
groom
go.
you.
Hell no. I come up here for that.
Yeah. Fuck it. We need David Goggins over here, except for David Goggins.
David Goggins.
David Goggins, yep.
Oh,
the gay
man.
version of David Goggins.
Gay version of David Goggins.
Like there's the gay version of Andrew Tate. It's bottom G. Y'all seen that
yeah,
shit?
yeah,
I like
yeah. Where he's
that. I like
dancing and
that.
shit.
Yeah, there's top G,
Yeah.
then there's bottom G.
Yeah, doing all
Doing
those TikToks.
dances. Yeah,
Yeah.
touching his crotch and shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He literally carbon copy. of
He's a
Andrew
carbon
Tate.
copy.
That shit's crazy.
He
I
is
haven't
Andrew
seen him.
Tate.
You haven't seen that shit?
No, man.
He's
It's crazy.
yeah.
He looks just like him.
Have y'all okay?
Just smaller.
Have y'all
Yeah.
ever seen top G and bottom G in the same room together?
Nah.
Coincidence?
I think,
think
not.
not.
I think not. That's fucking perfect.
Yeah, man.
I mean, have you ever seen Ben Franklin and me in the same room together?
Blowing a bubble?
No, just in general. In
No.
person.
Personally, not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Just saying.
Maybe you never will.
Time travel might come up.
Time travel? You think time travel is going to be actually real?
No, probably not.
You don't think so?
Not in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's possible, though?
What do
I
you
don't-
guys think?
I don't
think-
see why not.
There's like a I understand like the faster you get to the speed of light, like when it comes to like traveling to places throughout like the galaxy or whatever, the faster you go, the slower time, or is it faster? I don't know. There's like something. Time is affected by the speed at which you travel. I know.
Yeah,
that much.
it's relative.
Yeah.
That's why there's a whole theory about relativity and all that
Yeah.
bullshit.
The
that
theory
we
of
can't-
relativity.
Yeah, we can't understand that
Yeah,
shit.
it's just so much stuff that we don't know, and it's just gonna be so. It's probably gonna be a long time after we're dead before we even like get answers to some of that stuff, like even like wormholes.
I
And,
think our grandkids will be going to Mars though.
oh yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
I think Elon Musk
Shout out.
is he's
Shout
making
out
like a
to
starship
our grandkids.
Yeah.
to go
No,
to
to
Mars.
Elon, man.
Oh, to Elon.
Yeah, shout out
but
to
not
Elon.
to our grandkids.
Nah, fuck them
His
kids, bro.
position-
Fuck them
kids.
kids, bro.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Elon's position in the world is just kind of scary though. Like he has
Wow.
just
Yeah.
this ultimate handhold of humanity, and
Yeah.
he has this ultimate decision on whether or not he wants to be good or bad. Because now he's
Yeah.
planning brain implant chips.
Yeah.
And
Neuralink,
then,
I think.
Yeah, Neuralink,
yeah.
and then
Uh-huh.
he basically controls AI.
Uh-huh.
And then you've also got SpaceX going to fucking Mars.
Yeah.
What isn't he doing? He's taken over the electric vehicle
Uh-huh.
community.
Yep.
So I mean,
And he's got the most money than anybody in the world.
yeah, exactly.
He's also like
not
he
yet. No.
owns the biggest open like conversation
Maybe, like, on
platform in the
paper,
world.
yeah.
Who else?
I mean, you got people with oil money, bro.
Oil money, those
Oh,
oil money,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Okay,
there-
all
yeah,
those
yeah.
Middle
There's, like,
Eastern
different-
families.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
right.
that's
Yeah.
a different type of wealth though.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a
It definitely
pulled
is.
together family wealth. Elon Musk
Yeah.
is one person with
Yeah, one
multiple
person-
companies and organizations.
Yeah. For sure.
How many do you think that are like under the table though, right? Like how many companies are not out there? How much money is hidden, right?
I mean,
I
yeah,
think
there
there's
is a
like,
bunch. There's a bunch of money hidden,
Global
but
GDP is 160 trillion this year.
I don't think that like, I don't think that there's people out there that we don't really know of because people have to file their taxes, do they not?
I mean,
It depends.
not
People have
really.
to do their taxes.
Oh, that's a
once-
setup.
You have all
Once
the
you're
insurance and everything.
Once you're at that point, like there's so many loopholes and things like
Uh-huh.
just making money in Dubai and then there's no taxes in Dubai, so then you just take that money to a European country and you see no taxes on that money.
There's some crazy stuff about like Dubai, how like some of the really wealthy people out there, like once they get done with their exotic sports car or whatever, they have like a parking lots where they just leave these really expensive cars just to sit, and like they'll be covered up with sand and stuff like that.
Oh,
and they're perfectly
they just
fine.
hoard them.
They're perfectly fine, like less than 1,000 miles on them and stuff. But they're just like, they got so much money. They're like, dude, this is last year's model. I don't want to drive this anymore. They just like get rid of it.
And they're just done with it.
They're just
like
done
it's
with
another
it.
toy.
Yeah, it's another toy. It's
Hell
crazy.
yeah. We
On
need to
top
have
of
that.
the people that move there, try to follow with the trends, buy a Lambo, and then can't afford it. So
Yeah,
then they
like-
have to leave it.
Yeah, I think
Whoa.
that. I'm
Yeah,
sure there's
there's a
people
lot.
that are in the market for stuff like that.
Yeah, there's
But-
people that their whole business is transporting those vehicles. Yeah,
Oh wow,
those rundown vehicles.
I
They'll
did
buy
not
them
know
for
that.
pennies on the dollar. Yeah, yeah.
You ever hear about
I
that?
There's like, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna go ahead.
Well, there's also like really expensive cars that have gotten to like wrecks and they're like salvage. And there's people that will go there, and there was one guy. It was like 3 different Lamborghini Uruses, like, and they were at varying degrees of damage on them. And the dude was trying to figure out which one he's wanting to buy to repair to sell for a profit. And he was talking about, he's like, this color matches the interior color. Like this color is really in demand. Like he was breaking it down.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
seen a Rolls Royce Cullinan the other day.
Really?
Actually, I seen it yesterday.
Oh.
Where at?
Really?
Damn.
It was in Charlotte.
In Charlotte.
Yeah, it was in Charlotte in the one hotel in the middle of the city. Like in the direct middle of the
Oh,
city.
I know
What is that
exactly
shit?
what you're
Was that
talking
the
about.
West?
Since
Shit
I've never
called?
been there.
You say what?
Is it the Weston?
I don't. Maybe whatever one is in the direct middle of the city.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
it's like a big ass skyscraper.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
The only really cool car I've seen recently was I went to go get my hair cut, and it was like it was a Lamborghini, but it was you know, like the Lamborghini Huracan.
Yeah.
It was whatever the model was before that. I forget
The
what
Gallardo.
whatever that one was.
Yeah, those are pieces of shit.
yeah.
The Gallardo? Is that what it's called?
Gallardo, Gallardo.
Gallardo?
Gallardo.
Gallardo or is whatever.
The fuck am I thinking of?
It's whatever the Lamborghini was.
I'm thinking
that
of
came
a
out before.
Murcielago.
It might have been a Murcielago. It was
Those
like
things
a.
are-
It was convertible.
I don't know what the fuck I'm
And
talking
it
about.
looked like it was from like 2010 or something like that.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
give a fuck about supercars.
Yeah.
You what?
I don't give a fuck about supercars.
You don't like supercars?
No, like I park them all day, every day,
Oh, really?
and I just like older shit.
Really?
Yeah,
You
because they're all the same. They're all made from the same company. They all have the same plastics and
Oh, yeah.
buttons,
Oh, wow.
and it's all
So it's
That
like
is
stuff
true.
is like so if you bought like one Ferrari and then another Ferrari, like it's gonna have like the same like window switches and stuff like that. It's not
Yeah.
unique.
Most of them are carbon copies of each other.
Oh wow.
And then a lot of the times, like you'll step into like an Audi RSQ8
Yeah.
or 7, then you'll hop in a Urus, and it's pretty much the same. You just have a different dash and like a couple different things here and there.
Oh,
Lamborghini shit,
yeah.
whatever the
Oh,
hell.
wow.
And it's just like a few $100,000 more.
Yeah, and it's like you have both the same car, but one's marked up 300% because it's
Of the
under
badge.
I bet
of the
that-
badge.
I bet that it's like the engine though. I think most of it, the insides is basically the same, but I think like the engine is where most of the money is.
Like the BMW 7 Series and then the Rolls Royce Cullinan, they're the same car. Or not the Cullinan, but the Wraith.
Oh,
That's the 4-door, right? The big ass 4-door. Yeah. They're the same car.
what is it? What is the
BMW 7 Series
7 Series
and the Rolls Royce Wraith are the same car.
Oh wow, really?
The only difference is the engine.
Wow.
Everything
Huh.
is exactly the same. Even like the dings when you open the door, don't have your seatbelt on, everything. Carbon copy.
Wow.
So you can either have the badge of the Rolls Royce,
That's what you're paying for, basically.
right? Or you get, the BMW 7 Series and you spend, 120 grand versus 350.
I wouldn't mind a 7 Series.
Dude, they're so nice. They literally
They're very
They
nice.
drive the same.
That's
They
what
feel
we
the same.
was talking about that on the way
Yeah,
here.
it's crazy.
The like BMWs, how you get the most amount of luxury for the least amount of money.
Yeah.
Whenever you're talking about any sort of luxury
And
cars,
you get a debatable reliability.
that's
yeah,
why
I feel like there's a
yeah.
lot more people that service BMWs rather than Rolls Royces.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? There's just a
Absolutely,
lot
yeah.
more of the network's better and probably better warranties too. I
Yeah,
think.
like, are you gonna take your Rolls Royce to Grease Monkey to get your fucking oil changed?
You're going to take that shit right back to the dealership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they
Hell
say it was
yeah.
like with a Bugatti. like to get like an oil change, they have to take the whole engine apart, and it costs like upwards of like $25,000.
It really
Holy
does.
shit.
It seriously does. I looked that shit up.
Yeah, because it's like it's a V16.
Yeah,
I was talking with
it's
AJ
two
the
V8s
other day.
put together.
Yeah. And
God damn.
In order to even get like work on the engine or something, they got like take like when the dude was saying like, oh, and like there was something real expensive about like changing the tires too, because the tires are like some sort of
Probably
special,
like center
Oh my
lock and all that
gosh.
shit.
yeah, like something real special tires. And like, I mean, I guess it makes sense from the charge a lot more because there's like not many people with like Bugatti.
It's like $10,000 a piece for a wheel and tire.
Yeah.
Like and changing the brakes will probably cost. A
You
lot
had one of those
too.
come by yet?
Not a Bugatti, but we do. You guys know who Ozzy Albies is?
No.
He's a Atlanta Braves baseball player.
Mm.
He came in a Audi RS7, and he had these wheels on there. They were worth $20,000 for a set
Really?
of 4.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Crazy.
For sure.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that with like Jeeps and shit.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is kind of
Or, like,
weird.
big
ain't
ass
it?
trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that, bro?
Ah, fuck it.
Fuck it. Hell yeah. I fuck with that
Most
shit.
people will say that's daddy's money, but you never. I mean,
You don't know. Yeah.
yeah.
So what would you drive if you had the car of your choice?
If I had fuck
no
it money?
limit. Yeah, fuck it money. No limit.
Porsche GT3 RS. The new one,
Okay.
the 992 GT or 992.3
Why that one?
because it's sick. Or Turbo S.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like
That's
I
what
like
my brother
the-
wants.
I feel like I like the Turbo S more
Uh-huh.
than like the GT3 RS, just because you still have way more luxury than more like track race car feeling,
Uh-huh.
and it's just faster in a straight line.
Yeah.
Because I mean, think about it. If you're buying a Porsche, right, and you have fuck it money, like if you have fuck it money, how often are you able to go to the track?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
probably
with,
working.
with fuck it money, you're gonna get one of those over like a fucking Lamborghini or some shit because
Hell
one of those
yeah.
is like, with all the bells and whistles, maybe $200,000.
A GT3 RS?
Yeah.
Oh, GTRs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Is it not like
I think- I thought it
$200,000?
They're
was
like
more.
253.
Yeah, like I
Really?
Said, yeah,
Yeah.
like 253. For
Well,
those.
even still, yeah.
that's more than a damn.
Like if you have fuck it money, I'm thinking about like buying $1 million car.
I mean, yeah, but that's just not
You
my
dig what I'm
speed.
saying?
If
It's
I
not
had
your
fuck it
speed.
you could
money,
buy
I'm
like a
buying.
$20 million Bugatti.
If I had fuck it money, I'm building, a
Whoa.
old ass Japanese car.
Yeah.
Oh,
be
whoa,
honest.
really?
I feel like that's a lot cooler, right?
Like
Yeah.
like a
Or
90
at least to
Supra?
me. I don't know about a Supra, but like probably like
like
a
a
Toyota
Honda?
Chaser or a Honda.
Oh,
Yeah, like an
really?
EG hatchback. That should be crazy.
Really?
Just have 100K to drop in an old ass
Yeah.
hatchback.
Yeah.
I don't
Sleeper,
know.
bro.
A sleeper.
You can take that. To
Yeah, I
like
fuck with
Something
that.
funny about that shit.
You take that shit to like Tokyo or something, do like street races or getting a
Whoa.
drifting or whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
fuck
that'd be
that.
Well, what's crazy is those same like JDM cars in America that go for these 80s and 90s car that go for 20-30 grand here go for 6 to 10 in Japan.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Like what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
What were you talking about importing, right?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
talking about importing. So I got a buddy. I got a buddy moving to Japan. He's a missionary, and he's going to Japan over the summer. So we want to, he's learning Japanese and shit, and he's into JDM cars and whatever. So we've been talking about, creating this business. I've been reading into just logistics and whatever for international customs and all that bullshit. That shit's way above my head.
Yeah, it's
Like-
a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot of information, just
Yeah.
a lot of just following rules. But yeah, we've been talking about that shit, just importing cars, getting close with one or two Japanese people. That way they can, go to the auctions, look at the cars in person. That way we're not getting scammed or anything.
Yeah.
And then really the biggest part is figuring out the logistics,
I bet
'Cause
so. Getting it
Customs,
over here.
there's all sorts of sanitization that you need to do for these cars.
Absolutely.
All sorts of paperwork, whatever.
It's got to have its own fucking visa.
Yeah, exactly.
fact, yeah.
And then you got to bring it back to the States and have it shipped.
And it may not
from
even be-
whatever port.
May not even be legal to drive
Right.
over here.
Right, exactly. So you gotta look at all the rules and shit for that.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a profit, but it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
And you can make a lot of money getting really good at all that customs, like just international shit, international logistics. There's a lot of money. There's
So
companies who will pay you a lot of money just to do that paperwork
yeah. So when are you gonna do it?
over the summer.
You're actually gonna do it?
I'm trying to.
What are you gonna get?
Probably some cheap cars, just to start out.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just some like Hondas or little K trucks or whatever the fuck. Just
Some
'cause they're-
Suzuki's.
yeah, they're just dirt cheap, and over here you can make a 20, 30, 40% profit on that shit. So it's like, fucking why not? You know,
Damn.
you just got to be able to find the market and the people who actually want to buy that shit. And that's one of the scarier parts too, is because the economy is in such a weird spot right now where there are people who want to spend their money, and then there are people who are deathly afraid of spending their money right now.
Yeah.
And
Like
not
me.
exactly. And not everybody wants to buy, you know, a raggedy old Japanese piece of shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Or you don't know the history behind this car or anything.
Yeah.
So
Hey, try to get some Toyotas.
yeah, exactly. Gonna get some Toyota, some Mazdas. It'll be
Whoa,
cool.
but at the same time, though, like with that, I would think that people would kind of be skeptical about doing stuff like that unless they really, really
having
know.
an imported car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then unless they really, really know, and then the majority of people that really, really know, there's just so few of them
Yeah,
that
Well,
would actually know
That's
about
what's
that.
interesting about the JDM market, though, is that most people who are interested in those cars want an original imported right-hand drive car
Really?
because you get the most value out of it, get the most looks, the most interest. Like it's just that's what everybody wants.
And
Yeah.
if they show up to a car meet, right, they're going to be the star of the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You got this
So it's
crazy
So the word of mouth
import
is going to be
car.
crazy on that.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
be like, yo, bro, this thing is imported.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess you would know for a fact because you would open up like the door seal and it'd have everything like in.
Get some fucking
Japanese
suicide
VIN
doors on there.
numbers, and I hate aftermarket suicide doors are awful.
They're awful.
I get in like Corvette C8s and all that shit with people who just have the suicide doors and they like suck.
They suck. Why do
Yeah,
they suck?
So with suicide doors, you open them a little bit and then it stops and then you have to lift it. It's not like a McLaren or anything else that has suicide doors where you just pull the door handle and it just goes automatically up.
I thought
Like
the
an
suicide doors were the one that come out the opposite way.
Oh.
And then the butterfly doors are like
yeah,
this.
those are the butterfly.
And then there's the
Opera.
Yeah,
I think those are the opera.
I guess
don't
that's
know.
what it's called.
It's all the same shit to me. Dude.
It's all
I
the
don't
same
give a
shit. Fuck
Yeah.
it. Anything
But
that's not that
I think you're
usual.
right. I think the suicide doors are like the Rolls Royce doors
Yeah.
where they open the opposite way. That shit's cool as fuck.
That is cool as fuck.
That shit is actually super nice.
That's
It
actually
helps
badass.
so much.
And actually,
Yes.
you don't even have to slam the door. You press a button.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
or
sweet.
like
Press a button and it closes.
a lot of newer cars nowadays have soft close where like you know how like you close a car door and it
Yeah.
doesn't close all the way. If you do that on these newer cars, it pulls the car door in, so you don't have to open it. And
I've
close
seen
it
that.
again.
I've seen
That
that.
shit's
Like a
so nice.
cabinet, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
cabinets.
I've
Yeah.
s-
Our
Yeah,
cabinets
literally.
are like
A
when,
soft
when we
close
shut our,
cabinet.
our cabinets, like they don't close. They don't. You can't slam the cabinets.
No.
Oh
you
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
They just it grabs it and then it just. Pulls
You're
it in
actually
slowly.
right. The
Soft
one that
close.
he's talking about is it's electric.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
So it'll grab it. It's a mechanism that grabs it and then pulls it in. So like I've seen it on older luxury cars, like not older, but it's still older than any cars that come out now. That's like 2000, like a 2020. I seen one, maybe even a 2018.
No, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and then I've seen a couple people with like SUVs or the mom vehicles.
Yep.
I got them brand new back in the day.
Yep.
Back in the day, as in like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Just there's so many options you can put on vehicles nowadays. It's kind
Yeah.
of ridiculous, and the way they're priced too. Like people are way overpaying for things
For sure.
on literally everything.
Literally.
And what's crazy is the only way the economy can fight back with that is literally just by not buying shit,
Yeah.
not putting up with businesses just kind of ransacking your pockets.
That's actually why we're in such a weird position right now. That's why they say they tried to change the definition of inflation.
Yeah, well-
Because it's not the same as regular inflation.
And I feel like it's because everything's going online. It's
Yeah.
really hard
Yeah.
to argue with customer service. Like just over the fucking phone, you're talking to a goddamn robot.
Yeah.
Bro, I was
You
just
can't
thinking about
argue
that.
prices anymore.
You know how I said I was in Charlotte yesterday? I actually
Yeah.
went to South Park Mall.
Okay.
And I was in there and I was literally just thinking about what you just was talking about. I was like, 2 years ago, I was just thinking about how all malls were going to be completely obsolete because
Yeah.
because the online market is you can buy anything online.
Whether it's real or fake, it all looks the same.
But the thing with the malls are there's tangible things there that you can actually touch before you buy it, and you can try it on, so on and so forth, and you can actually see the physical product right there, because you know how it is whenever you're ordering something off of Temu. I personally have never ordered anything off of Temu yet, but I know the process, and I've seen people do it. They have ordered something, and then they're like, yeah, hell yeah, I can't wait till it gets here. And then they get it there, and it looks like what was on the screen, but it's not what was on the screen. What they thought that was on the screen.
And so a lot of times, like, the people who ship that shit out don't even respond to you. Yeah. They don't want anything to do with you. They just took your fucking money, and that's it.
There's no repercussions at all.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not at all.
Well, and it's 9 times out of 10, it's from, you know, a completely different country. So it's like,
absolutely.
You literally can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like even with things like,
yo, what the fuck? What the hell keeps on happening with that shit, Seth? Can you hear me?
You're good. I can hear it.
Say something.
But like what I was saying is like if it's something that happens outside of like the United States and different, like even with like like patents and stuff, like other countries can totally rip off your patent, and there's nothing that can be done. Like
that's
US
why
Customs can't do nothing. Like in China, it's like a really big thing that they do. Like even with like Nike shoes, like they'll just make.
That's why they will literally say something. It says Nike on it.
Well, I need to find this guy again.
They'll call it Nikki, right?
Yeah.
Nike. Yeah.
Nike
shoe.
People,
Or sometimes they will blatantly just straight up rip off the whole name.
Yeah.
Like they will actually make Louis Vuitton bags that actually has Louis Vuitton written on it, and it's not an actual Louis Vuitton.
And what's
bag.
crazy is I've been seeing this dude on TikTok, or a couple guys, TikTok or Instagram Reels, where he literally goes to these manufacturers and these distributors that make the same shit for Louis Vuitton, all these people, and they tell the dude on camera like retail price and wholesale price. Wholesale price is like literally 60-70 cents for this fucking belt, and then you go buy it at the fucking Louis store and it's like $600 fucking dollars.
No way.
Like, you can literally go to this website and buy the same fucking shit.
Whoa, what website?
I'll have to find it for y'all.
That's crazy because you're
I was actually contemplating buying a Louis Vuitton belt yesterday.
Yeah, I'll have to find it for you. Yeah, I've been wanting a Louis Vuitton, the male messenger bag.
Oh yeah,
that little bag. Yeah, that crossover bag. That shit's hard.
Yeah, those are hard. I'm not a big fan of like the brand that's stuck all over it though. Like on most of them that they make, whenever they make, or Gucci's really bad for it. It'll have the double G all over it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, even though that they're really nice
good,
bag,
though.
LV does look good.
Like I think because a lot of LV shit has all the branding on it.
Yeah.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, it does look good.
Like with that brown bag.
For me,
Yeah.
I would probably
luggage,
have a bag.
Like if you had like a matching set of like,
I don't know if I could
Louis
wear
luggage.
like a jacket though.
I don't think I would.
think that would be like overdue. Like
that's more of like a Montclair thing. I feel like
I was thinking about, Montclair, but Montclair doesn't. They only have just a patch on all their clothes. It's not covered with the Montclair logo.
I did see one of the residents at my work had a Montclair vest with a hoodie, and it had the Montclair.
It's probably a puffer.
Yeah, it was a puffer. No, it wasn't. It was a Montclair vest with a hoodie, and it was a puffer.
Yeah.
And he had the Montclair patches on each arm, and then it said Montclair around the hoodie, like the edge of the hood.
Yeah, that is pretty
shit
hard.
was hard.
Yeah, that's hard as fuck.
Yeah.
For sure. I fuck with Montclair. I whenever I went to the mall yesterday, I was just talking to him about this. Whenever I went in there, I like designer shoes and I like designer bags. Yeah. But like clothes, I don't think that I would ever pay anything over like at the most $50 for a shirt.
Yeah. Well, because you can just make your own.
You can make your own shirts?
Not me personally, but shit. You can learn. I could learn.
Oh, shit.
Not saying I would take the time out of my day to fucking learn how to make a shirt.
But you can fucking do it.
But you can do it. There's YouTube for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
So shit.
I feel like if we're talking designer, right? Like if you have enough money, fuck it, right? Go all out, right?
Yeah.
But if you have shirts and pants, it almost seems tacky to me if you don't have the money to spend.
Yeah, I'm going to fucking Goodwill, bro.
Oh,
yeah.
Shoes, I
give
get
a
it.
fuck.
Right? Watches, something like that. Something just like an extra piece.
Yeah.
Right? Looks good.
Yeah.
But anything that's like full body, like it just seems tacky.
Yeah.
And I was even talking to Seth about, watches earlier. I've been refraining from buying a really nice watch because if I'm gonna buy a watch, like I really just want it to be, $10,000 Rolex, $20,000 Rolex.
That's what I said.
Else. Now I did buy this watch, whatever, but it wasn't crazy like out of pocket type
or
shit.
trying to be a good
It's
watch.
something sleek.
Yeah.
It was something nice.
Yeah.
Something I can wear to most occasions.
It's a decent watch.
And see, what I think I told Seth about this is that how there's the designer clothes and shit with like the logo on them and everything. They're made out of literally the same materials as something you can get from Walmart.
They're probably made in the same fucking place.
They
Absolutely.
may even be
put a different brand on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But the reason I think like shoes are different from in the bags is because they're actually made out of different quality materials than anything from
Usually
say,
things
like,
with like leather, like you have different types of quality leather. Like,
Yeah.
like Tom
Yeah.
leather.
It's
and
like Italian
different
leather.
Different types of leathers that are made of different types of tanneries. The different belts that I got, like I can tell a difference depending on like where it's come from.
Mhm.
Between like an $80 belt and a $400 belt.
like a lot of times the Italian leather, it's
It's so much softer.
it's so much
And it's
nicer.
more, when you like wear a belt and like where you put it, like the metal touches like the loophole, how it makes like
The
a bend.
buckle.
It makes a bend in the leather. At
Yeah,
that point.
yeah, and it starts eating at the leather.
It starts eating at the leather. Well, with like the one really nice belt that I do have, it hasn't done that to that yet, and I've wore it just about as much as like I've worn
and
this
it
belt.
won't do that.
And it won't do that.
How long have you had it?
It won't.
3 years.
Yeah, so it's
That's
solid.
why.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't mind buying a belt like that. Is
Yeah.
because with the materials like that, it will literally look like that forever.
And
like these shoes will literally look like this forever.
And it remains supple. So like with leather, like literally leather is basically just like animal skin. So like you have to, depending on how they treated it, you'll have to like take a moisturizer cream and put it on there. Like especially with like boots or something like that.
Right.
It's always out. It's getting rained on. It's getting it's getting scuffed. Like eventually you'll have to come back and like those are your Ferragamos, and you've had those for like 3 years or so, 3 years, and they still look brand new.
They really, really do. Even though I wear them, you wear them about every weekend.
He probably wears these like 150 days out of a year at least.
Yeah, I actually really do.
Yeah.
because
Are they comfortable?
bro, they are very, very comfortable.
Damn.
They actually really, really are. That's why whenever you put your foot in a pair of designer shoes, if they're actually really designer shoes, then you can really tell a difference between the quality and just the way that it feels whenever you put them on.
So if you were buying a pair, like what are you buying? Like your next pair of designer shoes, what are you buying?
I've been looking at a pair of Golden Gooses.
Yeah.
I have a pair of those, but I might get another pair. But honestly, Ferragamo, I actually might buy another pair of Ferragamos.
I'm not huge on like shoes in general,
Uh-huh.
or like even designer shoes. But one pair that I will 100% definitely buy: Off-White Forces.
Off-White Forces.
Off-White Forces. The all beige or all white Off-White Forces.
I know
Those
exactly
go
what you're
hard.
talking
Yep.
about.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to find a good pair though.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like a good genuine pair, because even if you go on like StockX, sometimes I've heard stories of people actually getting fucked over.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. from
even through
StockX.
Well, it's just
X.
like me and you, man.
Yeah.
You know, buying and selling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. That's what sucks though. That's one of the only reasons too that I like going to malls too, because there if they're verified by the people who actually sell the shit,
and you know if it's gonna fit. So like
and you know if it's gonna fit, so you can try it on there.
I've ordered like a pair of shoes and they don't. Like I could wear like different sizes of shoe depending on the brand. So like if I have like a one shoe, I might be able to wear like a 9.5, and another shoe I might be able to wear a 7. And so usually like if I'm buying if I find like a size that fits me, I stick with that one company because most of the stuff I order is online, because a lot of times if I walk into a mall, they're not going to exactly have like what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And if they do have it, they usually have like a huge markup price on it. Yeah. Like usually like if I like for like a boots, for example, if I was able to buy like a really nice pair of boots for $200 online, it would cost like $400 in person.
Yeah.
Because you got the brick and mortar, they got the markup price. They have to buy
It's
it
like
too.
a middleman.
Yeah, middleman. It cuts out the middleman. And so like if I can find something that fits me online, I'm gonna keep on coming back and buying it.
Right.
And I was talking about in one of the 20 questions that I did on this new series that I'm doing is 20 questions, and it's where Sierra finds 20 questions and asks me. But one of them was, what's the most overrated shoe brand? And I said it was Nike. It was most definitely Nike and Jordan, because people will pay $500 for a pair of shoes that cost them cents on the dollar to make, and not even that. It literally is made out of the same material and is basically the same exact shoe as the lower counterpart,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the lower
Yeah.
costing counterpart
Yeah.
to the shoe.
Like one thing, like I just thought about too, is like, you know, people like they collect like certain cards, like baseball cards and stuff.
Mhm.
And, like,
Pokemon.
that Pokemon cards, it's like this card is made out of the same paper as the other card, but it could be worth 1,000 times more.
Yeah.
And it's same
Yeah.
thing. Like it's more of like a market of people that came together and been like, oh well, we're just gonna say this is worth more because we all together say it's worth more.
Yeah, like that, especially with those Nikes, especially with those
Nikes.
exclusive Jordans. Like people will buy them and then mark them the fuck up like
Yeah,
crazy.
once they drop.
And then as soon as they drop, they'll buy all of them. And like I even
Yeah.
witnessed it on the newest Jordan that dropped recently. I seen that it dropped, and I was actually thinking about getting a pair, but I don't think that I would ever buy a
People
pair.
do that with a lot of
pair of
stuff where
Jordans.
they just buy a bulk of it and then they
Mhm.
mark it up
Yeah.
because it just dropped. It's big on the market.
I remember
Yeah.
when, like the newest Xboxes and PlayStations first came
Yeah,
out.
PlayStation
right at
5.
COVID, right at COVID.
At COVID, they bought them all up and they were called scalpers, and
Yep.
they were selling. My brother went and fucking bought one.
Yeah, and then
For
they-
like $1,000.
They eventually
Just
changed
one.
it to where you could only get like one a customer.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
people.
there was ways, bro. I scalped a few people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
People
for
should have
sure.
profited like $1,000 from that.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
they
I
definitely
remember
did.
that shit.
it was stupid.
Dude, people
That was
started
stupid
like
crazy.
setting up bots. Like they would program
Yeah, that
bots
was
and
fucked.
shit
That was fucked.
to buy a bulk of PlayStation 5s and then sell them on eBay for
Whoa.
a grand plus.
Uh huh.
When that piece
Yeah.
of shit console is only really worth $500.
Yeah.
Dude, you can go on Facebook Marketplace, find a brand new PS5 for $250.
Whoa.
But I think people were so impatient that they were like, I'm willing to pay.
Well, because it's the
like,
new shit.
It's a new thing they
Yeah.
wanted to buy, and they were like, oh, I gotta have it. And so
Yeah.
Well,
there was this
and-
guy from work when I was working at Amazon, man. I would go on when Target would drop, Walmart would drop, and I would sign up and see if I could cop
Yeah,
one,
because they
right?
had timers, right?
Yeah, because they had timers, and there was this guy from work that wanted one, so I sold it to him, and then he bought 3 more because he's like, oh, I'm trying to buy them for my friends, and I know somebody. And I'm sitting here thinking like, bro, you can do the same thing. What are you
Yeah.
doing buying from me?
Yeah.
Like, you're stupid, bro. You're stupid. And I made $1,000 just from this one person.
And what's crazy is that is like those types of people are most people that you walk near every day.
Oh, sure.
Those are most people that
NPCs.
you passed.
Yeah,
NPCs.
I
Those are
swear to
most
God,
people
man.
you
Absolutely.
pass driving, on
Uh-huh.
the road. People who
that are
shouldn't
wearing their
be fu-
mask
Yeah,
in their
people-
car.
People who
Back to
shouldn't
my
be
9 to
fucking
5.
driving. Dude,
wear their
like-
mask in their car.
Dude, I remember that was a huge thing.
So-
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like end of COVID, people still wearing masks and shit.
I still see people
Yeah.
doing that shit.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
in your own car, bro.
Dude,
Like-
that guy,
wow. You're
that guy
cycling
that
the
we
same
seen
shit.
in the Durango on the way here. You remember that guy that I pointed to you out?
Yeah.
He had a mask under his thing,
Yeah,
under
that's
his
crazy.
chin. Did you not
There's
see it?
no-
No, I didn't. Or
I
would've-
do see-
I didn't
would've
even
definitely
think about
pointed
it.
it out.
I honestly didn't even think about it until we're talking about it right now.
This
But
dude's
now it
terrified.
reminds
do
me of
see a
it.
lot
if you're
more
like
people.
walking through something, right? Like I get it. If you're
No,
in the
100%.
area for a little minute, 5 minutes, it ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah,
It ain't gonna do
I
nothing.
do see people like wearing masks still.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
forget
all the
to wear
time.
your jacket so your neighbor don't get cold.
Yeah,
Yeah, facts,
the
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just looking out for my neighbors. You know,
I
I call it the neighborhood watch.
I remember when we went on that back in it was 2020. We went on that OBX trip out to you know what I'm talking about.
I know
right?
exactly what you're talking about.
And we weren't wearing masks and stuff, and like everybody
Uh-huh.
else was. And I remember people were like commenting, like, "Oh, these are not wearing their mask." I was like,
Bro, people were fighting.
They were
bro. If
getting
you weren't
mad.
wearing a
One
mask
mic,
at
bro.
one time,
Yeah,
those
fuck
were some
that.
fighting words,
Dude, I would be making it super duper hard for me to wear my mask. Like if somebody told me to wear my mask, I would like wear it underneath on my chin.
Well, I don't think y'all were going to school during COVID.
No, fuck no, I wasn't.
You graduated before COVID.
"You
Yeah,
graduated 18,
2018. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I remember that.
When did you graduate?
16."
16, 17,
I'm trying to
18.
think about where we met.
I thought that you graduated
I graduated 21.
21?
Yeah, I'm a baby.
Bro, what the fuck? Bro, what in the fuck? Didn't we have classes together?
Yeah, you were a junior and I was a freshman?
You graduated in 2021?
Yeah.
And I graduated in 2018?
That's right. I did
18,
the math right.
19,
Now you
20,
feel like-
21?
yeah, feeling like me.
I was a
It's about
freshman,
right,
you were
yeah.
a junior. What class? Where did we meet?
I don't, Atkins class?
Donna Reed's.
Donna Reed.
Donna Reed's. It kind of
Yeah.
like... Shout out to Donna Reed, dude.
I shout the fuck out to Donna
Dude,
Reed.
she's
big
such
time.
a nice person, dude.
Dude, she's OP,
Bro, I literally have a picture of you just passed out laying on her floor. Just sleeping in the middle of class. Sleeping in the middle of class.
I did that all the time,
I
bro.
know,
I would
yeah.
sleep in every fucking class.
I think that's how we met.
Bro, I because I knew the subject matter.
You just said,
But,
I know.
I
I
That
didn't
shit was
do-
so hard. No, that shit was so
I
hard.
didn't do anything.
I think we had 2 semesters.
I
in
really,
that
yeah,
class
probably.
together.
I didn't do anything. I took all the
I
business
didn't do it either.
classes.
Dude, I was literally reading news articles.
I
the
never
whole fucking
did it.
class.
I never did any homework during school at all.
I didn't either. Well, because in high school, and I think I was talking to you about this the other day. High school, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
The only things I did was do good on my tests,
That's what I did.
and I did my projects.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do to graduate with C's through A's in high school.
No, that's actually very
You-
true.
I just did what I had to do just to pass. I wasn't really like, oh, I gotta make a 99.
Yeah, I didn't. Like,
Yeah, fuck that.
Like I really didn't get sent to ISS. I never had any problems. I just didn't do anything. You don't have to do anything in high school to get through that.
You
shit.
really, really don't.
Unless you're going to college, right? Like,
Yeah.
if I didn't want to go to
but
college.
Even
Oh, yeah.
then, no, but even then, I didn't do. I had a shitty GPA, and I still went to college. You
Yeah.
can, dude. I know people who have dropped out of high school and still went to college.
I mean, yeah, to go, right? But if you have a plan, like, I want to go for this specific
Yeah.
degree.
Right.
Like, I
Like
wanna
there's
be
those,
top of
there's
my
always
class.
those
Like, there's
few
always
students
those, right?
that are like really like, oh, I'm gonna go to this one school. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't give a
Well,
fuck.
dude,
For
like
real.
I dated, dude. I dated a fucking valedictorian. Remember that shit?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I was dating this valedictorian, and she had no idea what she wanted to do in fucking school. Like she
Yeah.
was not 100%
Along
sold
with 95%
onto-
of other people.
Right, she wasn't 100% sold onto fucking becoming like doing all that nursing shit. And by all means, like that's fine. But like, dude, there's no way you worked that hard
to not know.
yeah, there's
Seriously.
no
Yeah.
way you worked that hard to be number 1 in your entirety of the high school.
Yeah.
While working a job and you don't know what you want
And be
to do.
completely clueless
Yeah.
about what's going on.
Yeah, like this girl literally had an opportunity to look better and be in a better position than all of her family.
I really
She
think that-
just doesn't know what she wants
I
to
really
do.
don't like to think that people are ignorant or stupid. I really just believe that people are lazy. And so I think that people are able to achieve big academic goals is that if they set their mind to it and if they
Right.
actually
Absolutely.
do the work. But the thing is, most people won't do the work, and
Yeah.
but even they will do the work. But the thing is that they're book smart, so they put all of their
Yeah, you had no time in the
academic
streets.
abilities into just accomplishing just the surface level things instead of figuring out the future.
Yeah, preach,
Right.
David Goggins. Put in the work.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's kind of what it is.
It's what
but-
it's what it always
What
comes
you
down
have
to.
to do.
Yeah, for sure.
But and also at the same time, like as a woman, I feel like at least traditionally.
Are you
you're-
speaking from a woman's perspective here?
No. Yeah. Yeah. Let me.
It's
let me,
okay, he
let me
identifies
transition.
today,
Yeah.
so
Let me for this next couple
You're
minutes.
assuming his gender,
for this
dude.
next couple
I'm gonna
seconds.
catch a
Let me transition real quick.
I don't know anything.
But like traditionally, I feel like as a woman, you're not expected to go to school or have a job. You're expected to, take care of your family. And
You think so?
That's
no.
how I feel.
I feel like as a traditional woman nowadays, you go to school.
Oh,
right?
as a
But as
traditional
well,
woman.
you stay home.
No, as a traditional woman, but like as a woman nowadays
I think nowadays
in
like
society.
like the if you go to like the colleges and like you try and get like a demographic of like
It's majority woman,
it's like 60% women, 40% men now.
if that.
Oh, it's more now.
No,
yeah,
It's
woman
it's-
dominated.
It's
Wow.
like 68 to 7.
No, yeah,
Wow.
Yeah,
That's, that's why
didn't know.
when every
Crazy.
single time that we go to those college parties, it's mostly women.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Yeah,
dead
Bro,
ass
you need some
serious.
college parties.
because
What
it's
the
mainly
fuck?
women
Yeah.
in college.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they also did studies that like women are more like men. This is Jordan Peterson talking about this stuff too. Like Jordan Peterson
Shout
talking about how
out.
like men tend to be more disagreeable.
Yeah.
So they'll
Yeah.
go to a school and be like, this is stupid. Why do I need to? Like, I don't really need to know this, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go to a trade school, get a trade, and make just as much money.
Right.
Yeah.
And plus, like, if you're going to like a college, a lot of times, like, I know this gets kind of a little more controversial, but like you're kind of told like you're bad, like the patriarchy and stuff like that. So like, why would you?
Yeah.
Why would
If you're a man, yeah.
If you're a man, why would you willingly put yourself in an environment where the actual school is trying to like degrade your confidence in yourself
because they're
And
in
your
their
ideologies.
Ideology, yeah.
And a big thing of that is, and it's proven, women and men think differently. They
Yeah.
have different goals.
Yeah.
Right. And so men are frowned upon.
About this stuff.
Yeah, dude. I'm so, like, this is crazy how me and Seth hasn't had like a
Yeah.
pod together yet. Because
It is
this
wild.
I feel like this is his real like.
no, you're right though.
space.
They're like indoctrinating the institutions and not just schools, but
What-
just corporations too.
Right. Well, not exactly.
Well, it started with Henry Ford. Right?
Yeah,
Putting all that money in the
schools.
and Rockefeller's a big part of it too. because
Absolutely.
Rockefeller. I don't know if y'all know, but Rockefeller owns a lot of textbooks. A lot of these nationalized textbooks that go to schools,
Yeah.
they're owned and regulated by Rockefeller.
No, yeah, you're right about that because that's where the basic system that we have now is originated.
Is based
the
off of
school
that shit.
system.
Because
you
those-
go to school, right? You get a huge loan,
Yeah.
right? So you're in debt. So what do you have to do, right? You get out, you work, right?
Yeah.
So what do
Yeah.
you work? You
Well-
work a job for the rest of your life to pay off the debt, and you can't declare bankruptcy on
and
it,
so
right?
and so the way it used to be a long time ago was these factories would open up, and then these companies would have to move people out there. Okay, well now these people are having families.
Yeah.
Okay, well the company has to build a school now. This
Yeah.
is how every city has started in all of mankind.
No, yeah, it's definitely true.
You have a certain set of production. You bring families in, and then you have to teach those families on how to do that shit.
Yeah. How
For sure.
to
You get
obey,
stuck.
right?
Yeah, exactly. So you get stuck in that just long line of work.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so
you get taught that too in the school too. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And so
look
what
at the
was before
classrooms,
that,
right?
though?
They're not productive, right?
No, not at all.
They did studies on like how productive classrooms are set up, and they changed it around to where the seating was more like in a circle, and it boosted the kids' learning abilities up to like 40%, right? So the way that we're teaching is not productive.
Well, and have-
that's the reason why we
have you
don't
seen
teach
the numbers?
values of like how to do your taxes,
That's
right?
like
How to save
financial
money,
literacy.
how to
you don't
budget.
really hear that
Yeah.
much in
or
school.
even literacy
You don't.
in general. Because
Yeah.
have you seen the numbers and the statistics for young male students compared to female students
it's
and passing
probably-
their English tests? It is literally like close to 60 or 70 to 30 or 40% on majority of males are failing their English tests and majority of women are passing their tests.
Oh well, that's
Because they're more agreeable,
Well, that-
like
yeah.
Seth was talking
No,
about.
yeah, that-
Shout out
I
to
mean,
Jordan
that-
Peterson.
that's part of
Yeah.
it. Like they're more willing to not question the material and rather just do the work.
Yeah.
Men, tend
But
to
I'm
be more
talking about this
disagreeable.
is at an
How can I come out on top?
no. I
Yeah,
I
this
get
is
what
at
you're
an
saying.
ele-
this is
do
at an
this.
elementary
Yeah.
school level.
But okay, we'll see at an elementary school level it's a bit different because women's brains are more apt to understanding language and
Right.
understanding
But-
emotions
and
better
mature
than
faster
men.
as
in
well.
this
And they mature
generation,
faster emotionally than men.
but in this generation, how many more male students do you see just complete absolute iPad kid? Like they don't know anything else other than fucking Fortnite.
that's the majority of
Like
them.
I know, dude.
Yeah,
I know
we had
so
a
many
conversation
kids.
like this in the car about video games, like how like I'm not really gonna go in. Okay, so there's like a lot of dudes they'll kind of get stuck in the video games because it gives them like a false sense of accomplishment.
Yes,
and so it's like it's a dopamine hit, and it's much easier to play a video game and feel like you're going after like a certain goal than it is to go out into real life and achieve something that's real. Because like as men, we're driven to accomplish things and stuff like that. So, but
I
if you
think-
give us like an artificial thing to accomplish, like a video game, a lot of guys kind of get stuck in that.
I
and
think that
waste a
comes
lot
down
of
to
time.
parenting.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
come down to
yeah.
parenting,
Because if a guy if a guy's sitting at home and he can't get off the fucking video game because he loves winning or doing whatever the fuck on the game, I feel like that's because his father maybe did something poorly, or he just never took him out and showed him the real feeling of success. Like, what does it mean to do something on your own and actually win.
Yeah, I mean,
No, for sure.
I've been there, right? In high school.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
That was my go-to, was Rainbow Six Siege. I would
Yeah,
play
we
this
were on that shit
hours
hours.
on hours,
And I used
bro.
to
Me
do
and
the
him
same-
probably
I
have-
used to play a lot of Rainbow Six
Dude,
Siege
me
with,
and
like,
him,
my friends.
me and
It's
him
a good
combined
sense of
probably have
accomplishment.
4,000
yeah,
hours.
Yeah.
yeah.
Whoa.
And it's
Yeah.
like
Goddamn.
it's almost like a drug, like GTA 5 was for you.
Uh-huh.
Like you're like, I'm gonna do this heist and make $1 million. It's like
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
we did
not-
that shit too.
Yeah,
it's like,
same.
It's like
Yeah.
$1 million bucks,
Fortnite, bro.
I know life GTA 5.
Yeah, it's like it's like $1
well,
million
that's
bucks.
GTA 6 now.
And it's literally just it's pixels on a screen. It's not real.
Yeah,
It,
it's
it,
not.
it hasn't done anything to further you in reality, and that's what counts. It's like, are you really gonna sit around and like dither in something that's not even real?
Are you gonna
For
do a
real.
heist in real life, or are you just gonna do a fucking GTA?
Oh,
and
God.
just a bitch?
Bitch, GTA.
GTA land,
I got $100
bitch.
million GTA, but like I'm
You got
fucking
$5 in
unemployed.
real life.
Yeah, I
For
mean
sure.
that's a point where you mature, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, for you, you're saying that school is easy. For you, it's a little easier. I would, you know, type something. I would write the notes down, right, that I was getting. I would go home. I would type up the notes, right. I would study an hour to two, right, and this was a government class. I would study an hour or two a day, and then the day of the test, I would wake up 2 hours before school to study this one test, and I would get a fucking C. Right, so it was more difficult for someone like me. So yeah, it was a very easy escape to get into
Yeah,
these artificial
Yeah.
achievements.
Yeah,
of
Also,
Rainbow
on
Six
top of,
Siege.
you know, depending on your family home lifestyle and you know,
Sure.
and who's raising you, who's not raising you, whatever.
And my uncle had always said like, oh yeah, because that's who raised me. You should get a state job, and I'm like, why? He's like, oh, the benefits are great when you retire.
Yeah.
So you want me to work, right, my entire life for just
Benefits?
pennies on the dollar for
Yeah.
a 401k? Like, that doesn't seem like right.
Yeah, and
You know?
like if you have like a bigger, like, well, I mean, I guess I can talk from like my perspective. Like the reason why I would do something is like it really it doesn't just come down to me. It's like it comes down to me being able to take care of my family,
Sure.
and like in my children and stuff like that. It's going to require me to make more money than I would like
at
a
the same
state
time,
job.
though, like if you don't want a state job, though, what else would you want to do?
Something that's going
First
to
of
pay
all.
more, right? So like right now, it's all about having your own business, right? So right now I got a job lined up for a CDL job, right? So
That's
I'm always
good.
thinking of like 1, 2, 3, 4. On top of that, going through school for cybersecurity. But then when Evan's in here talk about these imports, I'm like, bro, you already got someone that drives. I got my CDL right now, right?
Yeah.
So if you need someone to transport, I got you, right?
Yeah.
It's always about them side hustles,
Yeah,
right?
So,
yeah,
and a
never.
lot of times too, there's people that want to do something more, but they don't know what to do, and they don't.
Sure.
That's why it's good to have those people in their life that are saying, "Hey, you should probably do this.
Yeah.
you should probably get that state job because otherwise they are going to be sitting there playing video
Yeah.
games all the time."
And so
and
you have to start from somewhere.
So it's-
right, and
yeah,
so
right.
one
And-
thing that is like very consistent, that is really not that scary to get into, is real estate.
Mhm.
Owning your own
About to go
property.
to fucking Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad you were talking about, you know, you finishing up with real estate and stuff, because I've been trying to preach to, you know, my friends and stuff and whatever, and this is some sauce, you know, that I've heard from other people. But you know what an FHA loan is, right?
What is it?
So it's like your first home buyer's loan.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. So you have to have a full-time job and a couple other things.
You can
Yeah.
get a first home buyer privilege without an FHA though.
Right, but
Yeah,
you get
that's what I got
You
mine
get
from.
more
There's
benefits,
more
from an
benefits.
FHA.
Yeah,
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, you get more benefits from
And
an
it's
FHA.
easier.
Yeah,
It is
exactly.
easier. Yeah,
so
yeah.
depending on the area you live in, use your FHA, save
Yeah.
up 10, 20 grand, and go get a duplex.
Yeah.
You can get a big ass duplex, you can get a small ass duplex, but it's a duplex. You rent one side out, and then you live in the other side. So that
See-
way you're gaining equity within the home, even though you're renting it out.
Now I don't know how it is, right, with other states, but in Ohio, right, I couldn't get an FHA because everything wasn't up to regulation, right? So I would have paid more,
yeah.
but instead I got a different loan from a different company to where I went in and I fixed up the property myself.
Yeah.
Was it a
right?
conventional loan?
It was a conventional.
Yeah.
right?
Those are really good too. But if you're able to get the FHA loan, that's what I would do, because you're able to put down. You're
It's
able
much
to
better
put
than
down.
rent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're able to put down 10% at the same interest rate that you would at 20%.
Yeah.
And so what's happening is the rent game is so saturated right now that you can charge anybody anything you want for rent. So let's say you just decide to charge them fucking the
80 grand
the price
for a month,
right? Let's just say you decide to charge these motherfuckers, the price of your mortgage. So guess what? Now you're living for free. All you have to pay is utilities. And so you can, work another job or 2 jobs, work on the house, and just save your money by another one.
And people will do that. Okay, so my mother, I'll give you like an example. She had a townhouse and she bought it for I think it was around $120,000 8 years ago.
Oh wow!
And right now,
can I take a guess? Did she put any money into it?
Well, she still owes money on, but she was renting out for more than what the mortgage was costing her. Like right now, it's like
$325.
Well, around like $250.
$250.
But still, even in the span of only 8 years, she doubled her. Her equities doubled in 8 years, and she was charging people $1,600 a month for a townhome that was no garage and maybe a little bit more square footage than what we had.
Yeah,
than what we have at our place.
I know what you're saying.
No garage, damn.
Yeah, and it was, and I was sitting there.
And y'all probably have what, like 1,200,
1,300, square foot.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's
y'all's place is decently sized.
It's at least
it's all right.
1,100.
Yeah,
this place maybe has 1,400. Maybe.
Yeah, their place is pretty nice for what it is.
Yeah,
yeah, and I was sitting there. I was like, wow,
it's actually nicer than I thought it was going to be. The pictures didn't do it justice.
I didn't even know that place was fucking there.
Oh, really?
And the thing is I moved to Taylorsville
and it's a bit newer.
Yeah, it is. It looks. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's
it
new.
is fairly new, and you'll have to go to Taylorsville one day just to check it out. But it's an experience, 100%.
Mine was 1986.
Yeah, but you have a
That
house.
was my house. No, I'm saying that was my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's not going to drive from fucking Ohio,
right? But
to go to Taylorsville.
Next time you come down and visit, and
hey, okay.
What the
Create a blood oath, dude.
Yeah, make a blood oath.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Actually, there was one time in fucking elementary or middle school, one kid asked me to do that with him.
Wow.
Yeah, that shit fucking crazy.
No way.
You want to be blood brothers, bro? No, I fucking don't.
I don't think so.
really don't. I don't feel like getting hepatitis, dude.
Yeah, let's get HIV together.
Right, yeah. What? In middle school, that's fucking crazy.
What
yeah,
you been
doing?
Whoa.
Yeah.
I knew people that was getting head in the back of the bus in middle school.
There was
really?
one kid. No, there was this one chick in high school who got caught fucking in the fucking band storage room.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had this one girl in my class, bro. I won't name any names. She's not doing so great now, but she was
usually how it goes.
She was
right?
known for anal. That was her.
Wow.
Thing.
Whoa.
In middle
fucking
school?
dude. No, this was high school, freshman year.
High school.
In middle school.
Any fucking dude, right? And
Anal with any dude?
Did you get any of that?
So she fucking
Fuck it,
dude.
anal with every
that
dude,
one.
man. It's
so
free.
check this out. So she came back, and my brother's a fucking simp. My twin brother.
Oh,
And he was
y'all
trying
need
to
to hear some stories about him.
beat. Oh my god, I got some stories.
He was trying
bro.
to beat off to her butthole.
He was trying to, bro. He was trying to be the good friend, and I'll help you
shit
through
don't
this
work.
hard
No,
time.
I love you so
Bro,
much.
that shit don't work. That shit don't work.
It works
right?
every time.
Absolutely.
To a certain extent.
Absolutely.
This is my risk.
So-
Please.
So he's helping her out and shit and driving her places or whatever. And she's cheating on her dude with this other dude.
oh wow.
And,
Sweet.
And she got pregnant, right?
Oh.
So she had to go back to the dude. And I'm working 2 jobs at this point. I don't know what the fuck is going on, right? So I finally look this dude up after she's back with him. This motherfucker's trailer park type shit. And I'm
Whoa.
like, damn, shawty, you ain't doing so fucking hot.
Oh, whoa.
And because we're talking about real estate, they fixed up their floor. And you know how you have to off-center your tiles, your vinyl and everything? Bro, they put that shit straight across. It looks disgusting.
Yeah.
On
it
what?
looks disgusting. Right, so you have vinyl and laminate flooring
guess they did it themselves.
that you offset.
Wait,
right?
on what? The
floor.
in their house?
Yeah, in their house, yeah. So you would offset it to
theology.
make it look better, and it was just straight lines.
What is it?
It looked disgusting.
Uh huh. Yeah, it doesn't sound fun.
It does not sound
so
fun.
So the guy cheated on the girl.
No, she cheated on him.
She cheated on him, and he
yeah.
got pregnant with the guy she cheated on him with.
Is
that what you were saying?
See, I don't know.
And she did anal. How does she get pregnant if she does anal?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she grew up. You know.
Oh,
yeah. I
she
went
grew
to a
up-
Catholic school, so maybe she was like,
Oh,
maybe
wow.
that's where it comes from, right?
The Catholics.
I'm not having
Like-
sex
like
if I'm
rebellion
doing
against
anal,
the parents
right?
or something like
Whoa.
maybe, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Are you still Catholic?
Not really, man.
Really?
Not really. I have a mind of my own, I think.
Whoa. What is that supposed to mean?
I mean, it's the same thing with
right back.
schools, right? It's this indoctrination, right? Of obeying what you're told, right? So you go to a Catholic. Have you ever been to a Catholic church?
A Catholic church?
I've been Catholicism.
I've been in Catholic churches.
Okay,
and
so-
I'm very familiar with the Catholic religion.
So the whole vibe, right, of at least at a mass,
Uh-huh.
right, is I am not worthy, right? It's this degrading of I am not worthy, I am a sinner, I'm a piece of shit. Let me come here and try to get absolved of my sins by praising you, O Lord. Oh yeah, by the way, let me also throw in some money and then feel like shit if somebody else is giving more than what I'm giving. Right?
Oh, whoa.
The tidings.
Why
and
do you have to
everything.
feel like shit because of it, though?
It's just the whole vibe, right? And
Well,
it's-
everybody is a sinner, though.
yeah. Well, I mean, sure, right? But I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's my perspective now, right? Is, you know, rather than looking at religion as, I guess, through people in a church, right? It's finding it in yourself.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So I mean, I'm going back, reading through the New Testament and everything, and that's been 10 times better than going to a Catholic school being taught that like I'm a piece of shit,
Yeah.
and I'm never going to amount to anything and shit.
Well,
Like,
what makes you
just the
think? What makes
vibe.
you think of like that? How'd you get that vibe from it?
My church and the way that like we had people like we had this I don't know what they're called, but it's like the right hand of the Father that like always helps out with the church maintenance and whatnot. Her name was Cindy Odie, right?
Yeah.
And
She's like a nun.
She wasn't a nun. She was just a piece of shit, bro. She I swear to God,
What the
man,
fuck?
she fucking substituted. Right, it was 5th grade.
I thought you was gonna say she
substituted.
sucked us all off.
Nah, dude, I don't want that fucking mouth to hear me, son.
Let's see what that mouth do.
Her and like her kid, I think her kid was like a drug addict, right?
Wow, sweet.
Yeah, so it's like it's not like she's like the great mother.
So what
and
was you
shit.
saying? How is she a piece of shit?
So in 5th grade, she substituted our class, and we were a little talkative as we fucking do in 5th grade, right? And she says, "Everyone, shut up." So
Yeah.
we're like, "Whoa!" Right?
And she's like,
and
His
then she
hands on
said,
sight if you see
Yeah.
and she's not one of the teachers or anything. She's
nah,
like
she was a substitute. But
Okay.
because it's like a Catholic church, people will
Yeah.
help out and shit. And she goes, "You will never amount to anything,
Wow.
because of your talkative nature in this classroom."
Sweet.
And I was like, "All right."
All right.
I
that's
think
fucking crazy.
I think I'm done with this whole Catholic religion, right? Because
Wow.
you have this person that's supposed to be up here on this pedestal,
Yeah.
giving back to God, and they're a piece of shit.
And
right?
so what's interesting is this is what I've learned pretty recently, and I really want to talk to you
Yeah.
about this. So what I learned when it comes to Christianity and having a relationship with God is there's a difference between religion and having a relationship with God.
Oh yeah.
And so that's what I learned over the last couple months was really just having a personal relationship with God is because that's what the Bible preaches, and
Well, the
that's
thing
what
is,
He wants.
In bigger churches and large religious communities, there's a sense of, first of all, there's a sense of like hierarchy to it,
Right.
and then
Which is not how it should
within
be.
the hierarchy, it becomes political,
Yeah.
correct.
and then it trickles down into
Right.
the people.
And that relates to the whole story about the dude selling books, right, on how to get to heaven in front of the church, and Jesus came up and destroyed the table and everything on it, right? Because like this is not how you get into heaven, right? You're using God as a tool for
Right.
profit, right?
For sure,
And
yeah.
that's the whole basis. I feel at least of Catholicism, right? There's good, right? Like there's good. I do believe that religion is very vital,
Yeah.
to people, but right, you have those select fews like hardcore Catholicism.
Yeah.
Like the evangelicals,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Like you have these sects of
Now,
these religions that
is
are just
always
extreme.
It is always nice having those experiences, though. Like
Well, yeah,
going
sure.
to a Catholic church or what is it? Episcopal
Oh, I don't know.
is what it is. Episcopal churches, those very traditional churches. I feel like everybody should experience
Pentecostal.
either
Well,
that or
that is one of
Episcopal.
them.
There's
I've never heard of
there's
that.
Pentecostal,
Yeah, it's close
or
as
whatever, and then there's Episcopal.
Wow.
There's a whole list.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah, there's a whole bunch.
but
of
I feel like if if you're creating a relationship with God through Christianity, I feel like you should at least go experience one holiday,
Yeah.
in a very traditional church, just to have that experience and see if that's your thing. Because I feel like everybody's experience with God and Jesus is a different experience, and the path they take you on is for different people.
Yeah, and like what he was saying with how his substitute teacher was, a piece of shit.
Right,
And
yeah.
so I don't think that you can discredit a whole apple tree because there's a few bad apples.
Right.
Right.
I don't think that can be the case, but I can understand if most of the tree has been rotted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
But
that was my biggest thing was I hadn't had an experience with God yet. I hadn't searched for God on my own time yet.
yeah.
And then I did. My boy Preston, the guy who I'm gonna go do
The guy who you're going to go
with.
do.
Yeah, the guy I'm gonna go do and
Damn.
commit sin with.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And do some importing with.
Uh-huh.
The missionary. He is, he got me into that shit. And I remember my first memorable experience with God. I had just started reading the Bible.
Yeah.
One day, Preston.
Squeaky as fuck.
Yeah, right. Preston clocked off. It was at work. Preston's a work buddy. Clocks off work, starts his car, and then just randomly comes back. Like, dude was about to go home.
Yeah.
Comes back. Really felt like I needed to give this to you today. Hands me a Bible. Okay.
Sweet.
So I start reading this Bible a couple days a week for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And then I start seeing things start changing for me for the better. And I'm like, holy shit, I really need to thank my mom's ex for this, because she is like the one who like really pushed that narrative on us. And I felt like, I felt so bad because I never got to change her daughter. And so one day,
Wait,
or just
your mom's ex?
no,
His ex's
my
mom.
ex's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were very
So-
religious.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
Super
you.
religious. And one day she just comes to my work looking for me. And I come out the bathroom and I see her. And, it's just super refreshing. Like, oh my God, how are you doing? Like, it's so nice to see you, whatever. Super refreshing, good feeling. Off rip. Like, no, like, regret, no remorse, no hatred, anything. Just amazing feeling, dude. Like, the best I've ever felt in a long time. And so she's like, I have something you might really need.
She gives you another Bible.
Listen.
Check this out. Check this out.
So she reaches in her pocket,
Uh-huh.
and she pulls this thing
Yeah.
out. And it's my social security card.
Whoa, I thought you was going to say it was
What?
one of those mind changers
No.
from fucking Men in Black.
Could you imagine? Yeah, the flat.
The memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't
No,
see me
it's
here,
my
bitch.
social security card. And so I'm sitting there asking God all fucking day. Like, and so what was great was, after she gave me that shit, walk her to her car.
Yeah.
Like, I've been really, like, this is crazy that you showed up here today, because I've really been, talking to God and asking God to be able to thank you for helping me find my faith, because it has helped me in
I
so
thought
many.
he was going to say find my social security.
helping
I
me
don't know. How
find
did
my
she
faith.
find your social security? How did she have your social security card?
I think I probably needed it for like a job application or something. When me and my ex were together, and I probably just left it at their house. That's what I'm
Damn.
thinking. I really hope they didn't steal my information, but
You're just hoping.
if they did, then I knew who it was. So
Facts.
Amen.
yeah, exactly.
So
But
now
yeah,
you're a
I was-
big time Christian.
Yeah, I was able to thank her for helping me find my faith.
Yeah.
And I asked God that whole day, like, what was the point? Like, why did you put that woman back in
Yeah.
my life? Like, why did you put her in my path?
Yeah, why is that?
So I was talking to my friend later that night, and he was like, you know, there's a difference between like real family and spiritual family, like blood family and spiritual family.
Sure.
And she might have been your spiritual family. Like maybe that was God telling you to stay on your path, keep working, like, and that's when it clicked in my head. When holy shit, I don't need my social security card right now.
Yeah.
I know the number by heart. I don't
What is it?
really need it.
You just kind of think about it. You forgot about it, didn't you?
I used to work in a guard shack, right, where we would check trailers in and everything, and we would be fucking with these drivers and everything. You guys ever seen fucking what's it called? Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that Toady Fold song? Like, fold my Toady Fold. He's talking about a ball sack, right?
Yeah.
So we put this guy on hold, me and my buddy, and we're like, hold on, man, let me go ahead and find a spot for you. We're going to put you on hold. So then we start playing this, like, touch my toady folds, fold my foldy flaps, and then we come back. We're playing it on the computer and shit, and he picks back up, and we're like, hey, man, you know, we found a spot. Go ahead and wait one more moment, though. We did this, like, 4 times. And the dude was thrilled. Like, he's like, oh, thank you. You guys have been so helpful.
Sweet.
And then we would also fuck with people and be like, all right, man, what's the last 4 of your social? They're like, whoa, what?
And then they would give it to you.
Some people would. Some people would.
Sweet.
Swear to God. Swear to God.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's actually perfect.
Did you write any down?
I did.
Can you give me any?
I don't remember it now. I wrote it down and I was like, I got it right here for you. But he's like, you fucking remembered that, bro?
Yeah.
Throw that shit away, bro.
Let's have it right now.
Yeah. But you would ask like the last 4 of like their load ID or whatever the fuck. So they're used to giving a last 4 of a number. So some people would like be like, huh? Wait, what?
You know what's crazy?
Like, we're fucking with
Like,
you.
yeah, can you go outside and get oiled up for me too real quick?
You know what's crazy?
Greased up.
At my valet job, right? At my valet job, we use phones. So, you know, like, I don't know. This is my first valet job ever.
Yeah.
But you know how, like, a lot of the times, maybe back in the day, like, valets, they'd write your whatever down, your information, and then they'd give you a ticket. Well, at my job, we just take your phone number down and your name, and we have a phone system that sends you a text, and there's a link, whatever the fuck. You can pay whatever, request your car through the text. And a lot of the times, dude, people will come up and like never read the text message on their phone to text for your car. Literally, all you do is text car, CAR, and it sends us a notification.
Seems pretty complicated, dude.
Yeah, it sends us a notification, and we grab your keys from the box. We go get your fucking car. It's that easy.
Wow.
We'll bring your car in 3 minutes, and fucking people just don't even like listen to you.
They just get down there and then they're like, yeah, where's my fucking car? I mean,
yeah,
come on,
exactly.
dude.
And so people will come up,
Entitlement.
hey, I need my
Yeah.
car. It's a white SUV BMW. Okay, I parked fucking 8 of those today, so
Where the fuck is
yeah.
that?
And so I'm like, okay, so what's the last for your phone number? And then they start saying their name or like some other bullshit.
And what's your social security
And I just
number,
repeat
right?
like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. What's the last for your phone number? What's the last for your phone number?
Yeah.
And then they finally say it, but they don't even say it. They say their entire phone number.
Wow.
It's like, yo, you didn't even.
Yo,
fucking
actually,
Those are the
listen.
NPCs we were talking
Actually,
about.
the other day,
They have to finish their full dialogue.
the NPCs. Bro, yesterday, whenever we went to go eat at Cowfish. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
And we went there, and I got a place in line. They texted me the number. It was like, yo, what's your number? I was like, okay. I sent it to them, and they sent me a message. And then I looked. I didn't even read the message. I was like, okay, so then they're gonna text me like it usually does. They
Right.
just text me, and then
It's easy.
they're,
Simple.
yeah. And then so we was sitting outside for a good 15, 30 minutes after they said it was gonna be 10 to 15 minutes. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I checked my phone and I look at the text and I'm like, let's see if they text me. And then I actually read the text and it said, type confirm for you to confirm your
Holy
place
shit.
in line. And I didn't even read
that
that
would've pissed
until
me off.
until 30 minutes after we've been waiting.
So you had another 15 minutes.
And I was like, God, and it said if you don't text confirm in the next 10 minutes, then it'll actually I have it. I can read it word for word because it was literally
Please
just
do.
right there.
Yeah.
It was
Sure,
like
pissed me the fuck off.
right here. It says, "Welcome to Cowfish waitlist. To check your updated place in line, click the link, and it says type confirm your place on the wait list. You have 10 minutes to confirm, or you will automatically be removed from the list.
That's
To
crazy.
cancel.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually.
so crazy.
The thing is that I went to go as soon as I was like, I'll be right back. I went to go inside there to put my name back on the fucking list. And then I was getting a text as soon as I came in there.
Holy shit.
And it just so happened it worked.
Be seating you?
And it said, thank you
Okay.
for waiting. Your table is ready at the Cowfish.
Damn.
I feel like I catch myself, like, now that I'm getting older, not paying as much attention to things, right?
Yeah.
And it's small
Yeah.
little details like that that's going to save you so much time.
Right.
Do you think that's why
Yeah.
people, like, shit on, like, older people that just don't understand that? You know?
Like-
'Cause I
like-
feel like
like
once you get
technology
older...
and stuff
Yeah,
like
just
that.
not paying attention.
Not paying
Like, just
attention,
look at your
right?
fucking screen.
And that's
Yeah.
definitely
Damn it.
that's definitely
But
why
I've done that, right?
I
Yeah.
deal with it every time we play fucking video games. Dude, just look at the fucking screen.
yeah, bro. That's why I
it's
lose
that sense of just, I don't know, man. I guess it's just the sense of, like, you know, I've done this 1,000 times.
See,
right?
bro,
I
that's-
know what I'm doing.
that's the
And
exact
it's
reason-
taking yourself out of that what do they call it?
Like,
That
you're not as like a.
it's not your cognitive, but it's like your
Right, but
like
in,
aware,
in my mind,
aware in
the
some
way I think so.
like
Yeah.
conscious. Is that what?
It's like your unconscious
Yeah.
like thoughts and
Right,
movements and
but
shit.
see that's where like humanity fucks up, because I feel like so let's compare humans to animals real quick. Animals run off of instinct. They're gonna do anything they think of at that moment.
Right.
Right. So why you as a human being should not be on your A game at all times? Why are you not paying attention at all times?
Yeah.
It just depends on what you do, right? So like when I was working
Right,
in like
but you
HR,
should never
like,
let
that was
yourself
my
get
job
distracted.
24/7 at work, right? So when I would come home, right, and maybe we would play something, I want to turn that shit off.
Yeah,
right?
but
so then finding a
distractions are
game that's
negative.
like right, but then then why would we play anything, right?
See, bro, that's
Exactly.
why
Well,
I
that-
lose at chess so much.
Well, playing video
Yeah.
games
Because
is a
I
negative.
think that I'm doing good. I think that I'm always doing good. And I'm like, fuck, I
Like
want to.
overestimate your capabilities.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's how it was with like.
And I get humbled every time.
Every time.
Every single
Chess
time.
is the great equalizer,
it gives
man.
you
For
a
real.
false sense of success.
Because I'm like,
Yeah.
I can definitely do good at this shit. And then I go and play the game, and then I get fucked over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But I mean, that's
But like with
real
video
life.
games, what you're saying, yeah, chess is like a good mirror of life.
No, 100%. Chess is a complete mirror of life. You have a hierarchy, and you have somebody who wins and somebody who fucking loses. That's life.
Yeah.
You do not avoid that, whether that's animals preying on their food or that's humans making more money than another human.
Yeah,
There's somebody that always has to fucking lose.
yeah, bro. We was talking about something along these lines on the way over here about how. Have you all seen the Putin interview? The Putin with Tucker
If it's
Carlson?
anything recent, I have not.
No, he did one with Tucker.
Tucker Carlson did
That's
an interview.
fucking
with
crazy.
Let me
Vladimir
just say, bro,
Putin.
Tucker Carlson has been fucking killing it, man.
Dude, yeah, most
I'm
definitely.
so glad
no matter
he left,
what,
bro.
no matter
Well, he didn't
what
leave, he got
standpoint
fired.
you have on politics
Did he?
or anything, you
Yeah.
can't avoid Tucker Carlson.
Are you,
Yeah,
you're
he's
talking about
everywhere.
from Fox News?
Yeah, he got fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got fired
For what?
because
Well,
his-
because he's talking too real. That's
well,
why.
yeah, it's because he wants to do his own thing.
because
really,
because
and
each, yeah,
what he wanted to do, what he was talking about, basically wasn't his type of line of journalism was not lining up with the goals of the
Yeah.
main company.
Okay,
Each,
yeah.
from my
Each-
understanding,
each news like channel, each type of station like that, whatever the fuck, they all have a narrative, and if
Well,
you're
yeah.
not pushing the same exact narrative that they're
Yeah.
pushing, they don't want anything to do with you. And so I feel like Tucker Carlson is more of like a open-minded conservative rather
Yeah.
than just
Oh, yeah.
complete conservative.
exactly.
And Fox News can't really have that
No.
kind of view because they are more like just right, And
For sure.
there's nothing wrong
if
with
we circle back to Elon, I feel like that's the reason why at least I feel somewhat confident in
I
his
feel
ability.
like
because
Elon is more
he's
libertarian
not-
than anything.
Yeah, live and let live.
Sure, right? But it's he has the power to make his own decisions.
He has
right?
the
It's
power to
smoking
control
weed on
decisions of
Joe
many
Rogan.
people.
It's like smoking weed on Joe Rogan's podcast, right?
Yeah.
It served no value for his company. He lost
No.
It was
a lot of money
what
doing
he
it,
wanted
but
to
it's
do.
what he wanted to do, right?
Well, he lost a lot of money within that
at-
few
at
hours,
his-
sure.
at
And then
his
the next
point-
day, it went back
at
up
his point-
past what it was
yeah,
before.
at his point in life, it doesn't matter because
He don't care.
He doesn't care, and two, once you have that much money, it's fucking imaginary.
Yeah, it really is.
There's nothing else you can do with that money other than blow it on random bullshit and not give a fuck about your investors.
I would bet that he didn't even. He didn't even. He probably didn't even look at the stock market value.
No, he probably
of his
said, "You know what?
company.
I'm gonna do this. This is gonna fuck my shit up, and then I'll be fine."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know he
Said,
thought
"Fuck
about
it."
it, man. The dude's
Yeah.
always thinking.
Well, you saw it. You watched him think about it in the podcast.
Yeah.
He said, and then Joe Rogan asked him, "Is it not going to fuck with your investors?" He's like, "No, fuck it."
yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. He's got
He said,
fuck
"Nah,
you
fuck
money.
it." Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
He definitely
and that's a
does.
good thing.
But that's why I like what Tucker Carlson's doing now, man.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
he has enough money to not really care about pushing this agenda that media is telling him and everything. So he's able to have these long form podcasts. I haven't seen the Putin one.
Well, bro, he was making. I think that his salary was like $50 million a year.
Sure.
And then before that, he actually got an inheritance from his parents of $150 million. So now he doesn't have to worry about money at all. So he don't give a fuck about if Fox News is paying him or not. The thing is that they actually still have to pay him, I believe, because it was still under contract. So technically, they didn't have a really good reason to fire him, and the contract was still applied. So I think that it was basically like, if there's somebody in the NBA that they don't want to play anymore because they're doing something that goes against whatever the fuck that they want to do, then, or they're saying something in public that's not what they want to be said, then they can just bench that person, and they're not playing the whole entire year, but they're still sitting there getting paid.
Right.
But
Because they're not breaking the contract.
Exactly.
They're just going against what they would prefer.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is that he is now he's now got so much money that it doesn't even matter to him. He just wants to have the amount of journalism out there so that it's the truth. Basically, he basically wants the truth out. From my understanding of Tucker Carlson is that he wants the truth to be out there and to be free, so that there's no sort of propaganda. And the thing is, with the Putin interview, what I understood from it and why I brought it up is that we was talking about it in the car, is that it was a good reflection. It was a very good reflection, and the way that Putin was able to articulate himself and able to have that conversation
smart guy.
at the level that he
absolutely,
did,
right?
dude. It is
Very
a
smart guy.
Very, very smart guy. Y'all definitely need to watch. It's a
I'm
it's a
gonna
2-hour.
It's like
interview.
2 hours and 7 minutes.
Yep, and it changed. Well, it didn't really necessarily change my perspective on the Russia-Ukraine war, because I knew about what Putin was going to say before he said it, but it just it verified it even more.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
it made things more gray, but even then, at
instead
that
of just
point,
black and white, yeah.
black and white. But even then, I still would, I guess this would be selfish, but for my own personal interest, I would rather be on the team that
He'd be on a winning team.
on the winning team.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to be
He's a
on the
sports
winning
team changer.
Most definitely.
It's like, oh,
Bandwagon fan.
I was losing team,
Crazy.
but I was right. It's like, well, it doesn't matter. You lost everything.
Well,
Right.
when
Yeah.
Putin starts winning, we'll pull for him.
I don't know.
Hey,
It's hard to tell who's winning in that war, though.
because really it's NATO.
just a fight to the death.
It's really NATO versus Russia.
You want to get into the geopolitical stuff
Bro,
of it?
most definitely. But I'm thinking that America could definitely have. Y'all need to watch that fucking interview, man.
Yeah,
because
Well,
you
have
have
you
to.
seen any
It
of that
really-
combat footage?
Oh yeah, I
he
watch that
watches
today.
he watches
yeah,
it
he
all the
watches that.
time.
Dude, you
on
should-
Reddit,
crazy.
on Reddit, like combat forum.
Yeah. That one, and there's this guy on YouTube. He does a lot of volunteer fighting. He's done it in Iraq. He's done it in he's been doing it in Ukraine. He's
What's his
recently
name?
Civdiv.
Oh, Sid. Okay,
Yeah.
I watch Willie OM. He's
Okay,
from
yeah.
Australia.
Yeah. He's pretty good
and
too.
There's another guy Speak the Truth. They used to do stuff like all the time on Ukraine, but they stopped doing that. I think they stopped doing it, and they switched over to the Israel conflict for a
big
while.
thing with the Ukraine and Russia conflict is a lot of soldiers are getting pneumonia. A lot of volunteer soldiers are getting pneumonia really because they're not used to the weather.
Sure.
And they're not used, like their bodies aren't used to just all the shit in the air and what's going on.
Yeah.
So they've just been contracting pneumonia a couple times a month.
Wow.
Yeah, and pneumonia will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
That's
It's really
wild.
easy. It doesn't matter if you have a fucking good doctor. That shit will kill you.
Yeah.
On
And,
top
like,
of
even with,
COVID
like,
running around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even with, like, I remember there was like a statistic broke down, like even with like your KIAs, usually you have like 3 times that many wounded. So like if you have like
Yeah,
100,000
okay.
KIA, you usually have like 300,000 wounded,
Right.
to the point that they can't re-enter combat. Like you might have a guy that steps on like a mine and he loses his leg. Well, he's not going to come back into combat probably ever.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Sure.
Right.
And then you also have to think about, like, you have to send soldiers out to go rescue the guy.
Yeah.
They got him on a stretcher. Next thing you know, there's a drone that drops a grenade on you.
Yeah.
Two more other guys.
Dude,
those-
and
that
another
drone
guy-
footage is fucking terrifying, dude.
Yeah, it is.
It's horrific.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
because like you'll see these guys and the Russians have already given up. Like they're just hiding in this little fucking hole under a tank. And these Ukrainians drop like 8, 10, 15 fucking nades until they're dead. And then even when they pull up to check the shit out, they drop 30, 40, 60 rounds in that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's
fucking
so
crazy.
Like,
dude.
you
It's
can literally
terrifying.
watch entire armored columns. I'm talking about like tanks, BMPs with like 100 soldiers in a whole armored column get destroyed by drones.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
the Ukraine, like they have their goal for this year is to make 1 million. They call it FPV drones, which is like first person view drones. So
Yeah.
this drone will
And,
have
the-
like
and this shit's very, very basic. Like this isn't top notch
Yeah.
technology. This is
You-
literally motherfuckers taping grenades to drones.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And okay, so like geopolitically speaking, this has been a really good success for the United States because they have actually literally destroyed half of the military equipment of the Russian military for only
Just
like,
this one war.
like 5 to 10% of our military budget.
Yeah.
So you have
Take,
like,
us,
you have
take
a-
us back from that fucking
you have like
pullout
a-
day
you
where we
have
lost all
a-
that shit.
your second biggest competitor geopolitically for power has been decimated, and you haven't even lost one soldier for it.
And so you
Yeah.
you can't even imagine what full force of the American army can really do
That's
It's
so
without
insane.
seeing that.
It would eviscerate
It-
the military
If-
of Russia
Yeah.
within a few weeks.
well, here's the thing: if America ever has to put their entire force into one war, that means it's the end of the fucking world.
Even with like nuclear
Somebody would be
capabilities.
launching a nuke. Well, once somebody launches one nuke, if it's not shot down, everybody else is sending nukes, and it's
Sure.
the end of the world.
Yeah.
Well, but that's Putin talks about all of this in the interview.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yo, he
It's
goes into
fucking
detail
scary.
about all that. It's a 2-hour long interview. Y'all definitely need to watch that shit.
Did you guys
I
hear
definitely
about
suggest it.
China trying to pull in and create peace in the Middle East?
Yeah.
The oil just
They've
got
been doing-
transferred to what, the yen?
Yeah, they've been doing
Yeah.
that for the last couple months.
getting the brick together?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
gonna
not good
change
for
the
us.
American
That's not
economy
good
a
for
lot.
us a lot. On top of our inflation right now.
Yeah,
It's not
because
looking good.
like the values of the United States is not aligning with any of the values in Russia,
Yeah.
China, any
Well,
of the Middle East.
we're
the
dropping.
new axis that the United States will with its European partners and other countries. The main geopolitical opponents will be Russia, Iran, North Korea, and China. China wants to be the hegemon, meaning
Yeah, they
it
want to
wants
be the new superpower.
The new superpower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're already in a Cold War. Russia is really more of a regional threat.
Yeah.
For the most part, they have been decimated. They, when you go, there's a form you can look called the Oryx form, which it has like geolocated confirmed losses of all their military pieces of military equipment, meaning like tanks, artillery pieces, stuff like that. They've lost 15,000 pieces of military equipment, meaning
Bro.
tanks.
That's so much money.
Yeah.
It
Many,
is.
and so like the destruction of Russia's military allows the United States to focus most of their military equipment on their main opponent, which is China, and to contain China within the first island chain. The United States' main allies over in Asia are South Korea, Japan, Philippines, Australia, and it looks like it's going to be Vietnam too, because
Cambodia is a big one too.
Cambodia, and you also have to think about the military bases that the United States has over there.
Yeah.
Just really anywhere.
Yeah, they got them everywhere, all over the
have,
world.
I think it was 150 countries.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
that is
majority
insane.
of
That's the
countries.
majority of the countries.
Yeah, there's what, another 20 or 30? After
Yeah,
that,
I
there's
think
like 180
after that.
countries.
Yeah.
Is
Just
that
the
right?
Philippines alone,
I
they're
don't know.
opening up like
I'm gonna look that up.
They're opening up new militaries in the Philippines. Oh, and also with Australia being their ally, they're also giving Australia the capability they're giving them the technology to build nuclear capable submarines.
Yeah.
Which is literally meant to counter China. So, like, if the United States goes to war, it doesn't go to war by itself.
No, absolutely
it goes
not.
to war with Japan.
There's
South Korea.
195 countries in the world.
Wow. So 150 countries. There's just 40 more countries.
Like
and then,
150, 153. Like, even when it comes to, like, attacking the Houthis in Yemen, they had bases in Gibraltar. They had, like, bases in...
Yeah, places they had nowhere, like, no reason to be.
Yeah, like in Africa, all sorts of places. So, like...
Yeah, but China's trying to do something really sneaky and smart with Africa, and have them basically endeavored into into China with
indentured service, because like
practically
Everybody's done that though.
Yeah.
Every single
sure.
not every
like
country,
large
but
superpower.
superpowers have already done that.
Yeah, like England was doing that whenever it was like before America was a thing.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't be surprised if there was a war between the United States and China and Russia and Iran and North Korea with the United
And all
States
the other countries.
with all of NATO.
Yeah.
And you also have like the
No, bro, this is basically the start of it right now.
what you're seeing.
Sure.
Seriously, what you're seeing is the setup.
No,
So,
because
like,
there's-
Ukraine. What's happening in Israel? Ukraine.
Our kids
Yeah.
or our grandkids will see a third world
Because we're
war,
talking about
and
the
there's no avoiding
we always
it.
talk
if
about
not
the
a Cold War.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think there were a little.
I think there will
we're
be.
basically
China also
the
wants
Cold War
Taiwan.
never
So-
ended. The Cold War never ended. It's always been.
very
when the
interesting.
fact like they would get under their desk, like actually living through it, right?
Yeah.
Like your life changing through a Cold War. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, we're living through it, right?
Yeah.
but our lives aren't any different.
Well, I'm talking-
than
yeah,
they
yeah,
were
yeah.
back in what the '60s. It
No,
was.
you're right. But I was talking to him about the proxy wars that are currently going on right now. We always talk about that shit because there's been proxy wars for such a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
Through like right now, especially whenever we talk about proxy wars, it is, America's going against China in so many different ways. So there is
Sanctions.
First of all, there's Mexico.
Yeah.
Well, proxy war means that it's bigger countries going at each other through smaller countries.
Right.
So the first thing that I think of is Mexico, because the Mexican cartel is being funded by China.
Yeah, just like how they
So
were with
that's
Germany.
That's how all the fentanyl is being just spewing straight into the country because they have so many resources at hand from China.
Yeah.
First of all, second of all, there's Iran, which has many different other terrorist groups. There's Hamas that is backed by Iran, and then there is the Houthis. There is, what is the other one? Hamas, the Houthis, Hezbollah. Yeah, and then all of those are backed by Iran. Who is Iran backed by? China.
Yep.
So if they go wrong, and then they're fighting all the other smaller countries that are backed by America.
Yeah.
So like Israel, Hamas was attacking Israel. So then that's backed by America.
Yeah.
And then
Well, I mean,
then
it goes back to chess, bro. You're gonna sacrifice your queen? Of course not, right? You're gonna push your pawns.
yeah, absolutely,
Absolutely.
Right.
for
'Cause
sure.
They mean nothing.
That's the same thing that's happening with like Ukraine, is that with that interview you were talking about, Boris Johnson, so like when Kyiv, in the very first month of the war, there was a siege on Kyiv, and once they repelled that, but there was also something that added to it too. It was because Russia moved their soldiers back, but it was a half-truth. They were also being bogged down. Remember that convoy that was like 40 miles long or whatever they were talking about? It was thousands of tanks. Well, if you just take out a few tanks at the front, you stop the whole convoy.
Yeah.
And if we give them thousands of Javelin missiles, thousands of smart bombs and stuff like that, before the war even starts, it's easy to bog down a convoy.
Yeah.
Boris Johnson convinced the Ukrainians not to sign a peace deal, but rather continue the war. He never was reelected.
Continue the war
In Ukraine.
And from 2010?
No, from 2022.
Oh,
You don't remember that?
I remember that. And then he was taken out of
He
office.
was taken out of
Yep.
office.
He wasn't even. He didn't even finish his term.
He didn't finish
Yeah.
his term.
No, he stepped down.
He stepped
quote
down.
unquote.
Yeah,
But
he
convinced
resigned
Ukraine
because he didn't want to get impeached.
to instead
Yeah.
take the peace deal to continue fighting. He's out of the picture, right?
Because wasn't there? I said 2010 because wasn't there a conflict that happened in 2010?
There was.
Over Ukraine.
Yeah, this Ukraine-Russia thing has been going on for a long
while,
time.
and
They've been like
And the first
differences in
question-
cultural,
Yeah,
like cultural differences is really the biggest part of it.
yeah, and it's really not. And
It's nothing like out of the ordinary crazy. It's
No.
the same shit everybody's
And that's
been
the
fighting
thing.
over for.
In the very beginning of the Tucker Carlson Putin interview, Tucker Carlson asked him about Ukraine, Russia, the war.
Yeah.
He asked him one simple question, and then Putin went into a half an hour of explaining the history behind Ukraine and Russia.
And the basis of it is literally just the civilians fighting each other,
Yeah.
like just disagreeing about.
Oh,
shit.
most definitely.
That's literally all it is. It wasn't even like a political. I mean, it was to a certain extent. It was a political government thing, but majority of it was just the differences between cultures and populations, and it's fairly similar to, you know, the whole Middle Eastern conflict with religion and stuff, where people
Yeah.
are kind of arguing about whose land is theirs.
Most definitely. That's what it all comes down to,
Right.
really.
Yeah,
But what was you saying about Boris Johnson? About how he stepped down?
He stepped down and stuff. He basically helped continue the Ukraine war, and like for the U.S., they perceived it as like an opportunity to decimate their second biggest geopolitical rival,
is Russia.
for fractions on the dollar.
Yeah.
right.
You don't have to sacrifice any U.S. soldiers.
Just volunteers and some random ass motherfuckers.
You
Yeah,
get to use
God
a whole.
dang.
You get to use a whole entire other nation to die for your
Send
own
a couple.
cause.
Send
Yeah.
only a couple of your jets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We have so much money in our military.
yeah. Like we already
So
spend
much.
$800 billion every year
Yeah.
on our military. When it
Wow.
comes down to our GDP percentage, that's only like 2%,
Yeah.
2 or 3%.
But
Yeah.
no, Putin's right in that interview whenever he's like, does America not have bigger problems to handle than
100%.
yeah,
Because I
definitely.
mean,
You
look
see-
at the debt.
You see, well, yeah, and you see homelessness everywhere.
And think about it though, like what would be the worst case scenario that happens if Russia was to take Ukraine? If they were to take Ukraine, what next? What do you think would happen next?
Nobody knows, and that's the scary part. And that's why
thing-
some people. That's why some people are for this war, and that's
Uh-huh.
why people are for us.
Well,
and
the thing
for
is,
Ukraine.
a lot of people are for the war in the United States on a political level because they're making so much fucking money off
yeah,
of it.
and they're
Yeah.
also
Well,
afraid of
the
Putin taking
warmongers.
over,
Oh.
but nobody knows what's going to happen.
Okay, so
I don't
like,
think that he would try to take over the.
I don't think so either.
when the bills are made to like give military aid to the Ukraine, what we basically give Ukraine is basically hand-me-down equipment, and the money we actually don't give them any actual physical cash. What
It's-
we do is that money that is spent is used to purchase new equipment for our military, and we basically send off the old equipment.
But
Rather
if
than-
you also think about it too, there has to be money that is funneled into it in some sort of ways besides
That's not the
giving
military
them.
aid.
What do you mean?
There's two different types of aid, and even with that, there's spec ops aid that is still military aid, but under the table.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Yeah.
and that's within Spec Ops. When you think of Spec Ops, most people think of a 4 to 6 man
I
team.
think of Call of Duty.
Yeah, you think of Call of Duty. It's a 4 to 8, 12 man team going in on a building, killing Osama bin
Like
Laden.
the SEALs.
When in reality, it's a 60 man platoon going in on 250 soldiers on a base.
Yeah,
That's really what it is.
bro.
You also got to think like all the type of stuff that the Ukraine military have been able to take out, like generals, dozens of generals. The Moskva cruiser that was the capital ship of the Black Sea Fleet that was 600 feet long with like 1,000 sailors on it. Their intel doesn't come. They don't have satellites. They don't have stuff like that. They get that from the U.S. So we are actually actively engaged in this war.
Yeah,
But what we do is we send people over there that are instructors. We also have surveillance people that will tell you, okay, there's a general. He's in Kherson. He's in the Kherson region. We'll give you his exact location.
yeah.
You have the bombs. We'll give you the location. You send the bomb there.
No, that's what I'm saying though. Is that all that has to be funded in some sort of way So
Exactly.
the U.S. has to fund that in order for that to even happen.
Right.
So
That's
it's not
they-
just,
The only person who gets in trouble for what happens is the person who pulls the fucking trigger.
and it's not just sending them older equipment, because first of all, there has to be money that is arranged in order for that to happen. So basically, the way that I look at it is that if we send them older equipment and we're sending them just the older equipment, that has to be replaced because we have to have that
The money that's
equipment.
being spent is money spent on the new equipment.
So the way that I'm
because we
seeing
have a
it,
budget of so much money each year.
Yeah, so like if I
Yeah.
send over a tank that was built in 1980,
Uh-huh.
I have to replace that with a new tank.
Exactly.
The money that is being spent is literally being spent on producing the new tank.
and the warmongers,
for us, not
the
for them.
warmongers that
Right.
I'm thinking about in this situation is the people that are in the Senate, in the House, or in the people who are advocating for this war that are in the U.S. politics, or they are controlling the government. They have money invested in these companies that are producing all of
Probably.
this.
Probably.
That
Absolutely.
are producing, the ones that are
Exactly.
advocating for it have the money invested into these companies that are producing all of this stuff and they're just making a whole bunch of fucking money off of it. That's why they advocate for this, for
yeah,
not just this war, but any war that's
Yeah.
been going on
And so
in our lifetime.
They also peddle it for other war, like if Taiwan got invaded, or like if Taiwan wasn't even invaded, they would still be like, we need to send them this money to defend themselves in case they are invaded.
Exactly. And then they're going to be like, yo, so this costs $10 billion, whenever in reality it could cost, $7 billion.
Yeah, fraction.
Well,
and
and
then
that's just for the ones, right, that is like on paper, right? But then
Uh-huh.
you look at like with the whole Hillary Clinton emails, right? She had money from terrorist organizations that we were currently fighting, right, in Afghanistan.
yeah, what
Right?
emails are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I heard
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
best way to reach her, though, is through email.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is.
But I mean, the Vietnam War, right? The Vietnamese, they were fighting a lot with hand-me-downs from World War II, right? There was
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
Car 98s and AKs that they were fighting with at the time.
Yeah, and like even back then, like during the Vietnam War, it was in the Soviet Union's best interest
Correct.
to send equipment to Vietnam because they were basically just like we are doing with Ukraine. It's in your best interest to do anything you can to weaken your rival.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what was generally happening? They were trying to take over Cambodia, and they were trying to spread communism.
Yeah.
But my thing is why
damn communist.
But my thing is why is he our rival?
Why is who?
Why is who our rival?
Putin.
Putin.
Russia. Right now.
Ask the CIA.
Yeah.
Don't ask me.
You're right.
Right. Well,
You're actually
anyone
really
that has
right.
a different view of us, right, is going to be our enemy, right? He is a dictator, right?
Yeah.
We don't
Who?
like that.
Who, Putin?
Putin. Yeah, he's a dictator.
Basically,
Well, I mean,
you know,
if you had a choice
basically.
of which country you want to live in, which one would you choose?
He's a
Oh,
successful
I would definitely
dictator.
choose America.
There's
He's
a
a-
difference between
Oh,
a
yeah, for
real
sure.
dictator
Facts,
and a successful
facts.
one
Yeah,
because
He's a successful president.
yes,
Yeah.
because in order to be a successful dictator, you really can't be considered a
A
dictator.
dictator, right?
Yeah, but his people like him.
Exactly. It's a brainwash.
Yeah. That's the thing too, is that the people like him.
That's what makes
in,
him successful.
in North Korea, like
You know, you can be put
people
in
don't like
prison.
him.
You know, you can be put in prison if you don't dust your framed picture of Kim Jong Un.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really can.
It's
Seriously.
just fucking crazy.
Yeah, this woman was talking about her family. Her family was arrested because there was dust. Some guy came in, right? That was for whatever government, right?
Like
whatever
an
they call him.
inspector.
They came in and he inspect the portrait, and there was dust on the top of the frame, and they got put in jail for a couple months.
Wow.
Well,
That's crazy shit.
Couple months is
That
fucking
is-
wild.
That's crazy shit.
Couple
For
months.
dust.
and that's probably like real ass like fucking indoctrination, like real
Oh, yeah.
slavery. Like
Yeah.
In COVID, they were starving to death.
Oh yeah.
Starving.
they've
Yeah.
been starving.
Yeah. Even
Those
more
are-
though.
I mean, their obesity is down for a reason because people starve.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, in America, you don't see as many people like starving as any other country.
Yeah, you see more homelessness than you do see starving, and homeless people have a I wouldn't say a great access, but a
Sure.
somewhat decent access to food. Like most homeless people can show up to, a soup kitchen.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why they're still
once
here.
a day or once every
Yeah.
other day. And, really for most humans, that's enough food to get you by.
But if you look at homelessness in other places, right, they die.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not as much.
Right.
Okay.
So let me
Whoa.
ask you a real question, right? Because I had a
the fuck?
conversation with this guy from work, and I personally don't understand, right?
Well,
why
and a big thing
people
is-
think that Biden in office was not a bigger push for whoever is in power, right, to stay in power.
What do you mean?
Right, so like Biden, right? They say that the president has all this power,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
So
he
now
doesn't,
you
though.
have so now you have Biden in this position. Who is actually running the show? Because he's obviously not.
He's
right?
it's a public figure. It's an
Right.
image. The president doesn't run the show. He doesn't make any. He makes a few decisions here and there, but at the end of the day, the president is just a public figure.
Well, that's like
Right.
And there are people behind the president that actually run the show, and I feel like everybody fucking knows that.
So do you think that Trump was hated so much by everybody because he went against that?
Yes.
It almost seemed like it was an unconscious agreement that
I
we all
think-
had, right?
unconscious agreement of what?
Agreement that this person in power that is our president really isn't like in power, right? So now you have somebody
Yeah.
that's stepping on that, saying, "No, I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do."
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not obeying by political correctness, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so what happened? They used the media and other ways of getting around that. That's what happened.
You know who's really in power? People with the money, right?
The
Black-
people
Yeah.
with the money, the people in the
Larry
black suits.
Larry Fink,
Yeah.
Larry
You know who that dude
Hoover.
is?
He runs what?
BlackRock.
BlackRock, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. BlackRock?
Yeah, absolutely.
Larry Fink.
crazy.
BlackRock,
He had,
fucking Fidelity,
Yeah, Vanguard.
Vanguard.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Saying those names is what gets you killed.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know why Netflix is just a horrible company now, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they invested into Netflix and they told him, hey, you need to put this stuff on there. That's when that Cuties head came out and it was those little girls
Yeah.
twerking and shit.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like that, right?
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
yeah, so there was a lot of people that first unsubscribed, and then Netflix said, "Hey, we're losing all this business. We need to take this shit off." Right?
Uh-huh.
And these hedge funds came back and they said, "Hey, if you take that off, we're pulling out." So you have this big hedge fund that every other hedge fund practically follows, right?
Right.
If they pull out, they pull out. So now you have
Yeah.
people that are canceling their memberships, and then you have the investors that pulled out all because someone decided to invest.
Yeah.
You know, like that's insane. That's
So,
too much
You
power.
Yeah.
know RFK Jr.
Yep.
RFK, no.
He's Robert F. Kennedy.
Yeah, sure,
So
sure.
John F. Kennedy, his brother. So he had a son, and his son is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And he is running for office now under an independent party.
Okay.
So he talks about this in his book, and he talks about a bunch of things like this in his book all the time because I think he worked for the CDC, I believe, or something like
Something.
that. I don't know what it was, but he had something to do with CDC, and so he knew all the filth that happened between all these huge companies and Dr. Anthony Fauci. You know Anthony Fauci, right?
Yep.
No.
You don't know Anthony Fauci?
No.
He's big during COVID.
Educate me, my dude.
So you know how so he was over the CDC.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
do you
okay.
not remember the guy that got up there and he was like, "You got to wear your mask."
Oh, that was
Wear
him.
your
That was him.
mask.
Glasses.
Okay, yeah.
The guy during COVID, he would pop up on your screen every fucking
Sure,
day and he'd
sure.
be like, "Why aren't you wearing your mask?"
And then
You
they
ha-"
keep switching their fucking views.
Yes,
That shit
every
was going
single
on,
time,
yeah.
every week. Yep.
Yeah.
So you know how they got the vaccine out.
Sure.
So
Did
there
you
was
get your vaccine?
I actually did.
You did?
You
Both
did?
shots?
I
Really?
shouldn't have. No, I
Both
shouldn't
shots?
have.
I
Both-
only got one shot.
I got 2 shots.
I got one
Yeah.
shot, and ever since I got my one shot, I've had COVID 4 times.
I've never had
Interesting.
COVID.
I've had COVID 5 or 6 times.
Really?
One time is at least untested, so we can't say that's COVID.
Okay.
But I've had COVID at least 5 times tested.
Yeah, I never got COVID before
And I
got
haven't
it.
fucking died, and I smoke every day.
Wow. I never got COVID before that, and I never got COVID after that. So
That's
I
a good
don't
thing.
know.
Keep it that way, bro. COVID fucking sucks.
Really?
And this new, so the last time I got COVID, it was awful. I mean, like, I literally thought that I was going to have to call the fucking ambulance, like, without telling my parents.
Really?
Like, it was that bad. Like, I was up, like, for fucking, like, 16 hours just moaning and fucking groaning through pain.
Wow.
It was terrible. I thought I was going to die.
Why'd you get the vaccine?
Mostly because of my mom.
Okay.
Because she really suggested that I did.
Yeah, that's
she
why
wanted me to do so, and I was like, I don't know about it. There's not enough, research on it. It's very new.
Yeah, and that's the thing with a lot of vaccines and like going to school is like, oh, there's not research or it's a vaccine. But I mean, most of everybody, at least from what I remember, I always grew up taking a couple vaccines here and there in order to go to school. So, one of the big arguments behind the vaccine is, okay, well, you take vaccines in order to go to school. So what's the big problem about this? But then the other argument is, oh, well, there's no history behind it. We don't know if it actually works. At the same time, like, how many things do you put into your body that actually works? On a majority scale of humans, I'm not saying you or I or you or Seth or anybody else, but most humans put things in their body that they don't even know what actually happens.
I mean, all these preservatives in any food that you eat, right? It's
Dude,
not good for
I
your
assure
body.
you, everything we bought from fucking Ingles today that we put in the fridge or set on the fucking counter, ass, absolutely terrible for
all
you.
of it, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's not even like you can really avoid that.
No,
you can't really avoid that without spending a fucking bag.
Yeah.
Or creating a community, which is banned.
Right.
Which is banned.
For the most part, yeah.
No.
Like those vaccines are crazy. But
yeah, and it was all a fucking financial scam.
Dude, I was reading,
that's the reason I didn't get it.
What I was reading explains the whole fucking thing. Y'all need to, I always suggest that book. It's called The Real Anthony Fauci, and it explains the whole entire thing. So essentially what happened is how it was a conspiracy theory at the very beginning where it was like it came from a lab in China. They knew that it came from China, but nobody specified that it came from a lab in China.
Yeah.
So he was over the CDC, so he was the one that got the funding in order to, so if you are over a certain region in the government and you get funding to make something happen, you're approved funding, you can't take that money directly, right?
Sure. Right.
So if you want to make money off of it, you have to find other ways.
Yeah.
So basically, he had funding to have this virus made, essentially, and then it was made, and then it leaked out, right?
Sure.
And so then apparently they was finding, this is from my understanding of it, and I very well could be butchering this whole thing, but he was working on the cure or vaccine for it in order for it to be stopped. And so got out of hand. And then, so how are we going to do it? It's a very, very sticky situation. So how can we fight a virus that has just came about and it's taken over the whole entire world? A big, scary virus, right?
How many times has humanity just fought some random fucking virus and survived?
So in this book, it's saying that hydrochloroquine, I think that's what it was called, that it was said to fix this virus, right?
Mm-hmm.
It said it was able to basically cure the virus, and it wasn't a vaccine, but it was more of reused medication that we already had beforehand that has been used for most of humanity, and so that was actually proven to have had a good effect on COVID-19. And so what this guy did, instead of promoting that to be reused and made into a virus fighting medication, instead he did they did trials on it. They funded trials on it, and in those trials, it was corrupted trials. So they did too much. So essentially they would put too much into the people that had the virus. They had the virus, and then they would try to use this medication. So then they would put like 500 times the amount that was supposed to be in there in order to combat the virus or some sort. And then the people would end up dying, or the people would end up suffering and having bad side effects. And then they would put all that in there into the report so that if anybody asked about what could help with this virus, they couldn't suggest this because
they couldn't make money from it.
Yeah, they were falsifying the reports.
Exactly, and then they was taking it off of the because it was like an over-counter drug.
Yeah.
So nobody could just go and buy it anymore because it was scheduled as a class something drug.
They were single filing the options you could take. That's the whole plan.
There was this doctor that went on Joe Rogan's podcast, and I listened to him, and he touched a little bit on that. Right? But this was like earlier on, right? So when did this book come out?
This came out 2021.
Okay, so maybe it was around the same time or so.
Because he knew about a lot of the things that were happening before it happened. Oh, he was he had like basically insider information about everything that was going on, and he had a personal relationship.
Like Nancy Pelosi with that insider trading.
Yeah, she never did anything. It was her husband.
I don't know, but I'm saying she has the knowledge. She has the knowledge.
No, she would never do insider information.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, her husband would though.
Yeah.
But he can't because he don't have the access to the information.
Yeah, no.
So, anyways, so how are we supposed to fight this virus if there's nothing else that can be reused for it? Because the stuff that they claim to be able to be reused for this virus is scheduled as a class whatever drug that can fucking kill you.
And here's another thing. Since November, this past November, obviously cold weather and whatever was coming around, so people were getting sick and people were going out for holidays. But since November and even before then, when was the last time you really heard about COVID, dude?
For real.
You really...
But bro, here, let me finish this real quick before I forget about all this. So essentially, he had his own investments tied up with the vaccine. So he had it set... Yeah, Fauci. I can't hear you.
Spilled the fuck out.
What the fuck is up with that?
Try that cord down there at the bottom. Or last time you had to push that in and then it started working again.
Yeah, I spilled the fuck out.
Can you hear?
Beer, though.
Here, say something.
I still can't hear anything.
Yeah, I'll say something.
Nothing.
Here, let me see it. Holy fuck!
Damn, I've never seen this before.
While he goes with that, go ahead and continue the story.
Yeah. So I think that one's mine. Oh, God dang. So, anyways,
mine's on the end. I think yours is going to be this one.
Hey, let me see it, Seth. I think I know how to fix it.
Tiny bit.
Mic check.
Damn, that's crazy. Holy shit.
Bro, we've been having this problem with this mic for some time now.
For a while.
It might have a short in it.
It might.
True.
Damn.
What the hell?
But yeah, dude, I really haven't heard anything about COVID or anything pertaining it since, really end of November.
Well, I mean, just how viruses, are is that once your body, gets that information, your immune system, it's able to fight that off. So in order for...
I hear the smacking.
Yeah, in order for a virus to, you contract the same virus, your body's going to fight it off, right?
Yeah.
So they have to change the strand, or it mutates into a stronger form.
Right.
So it's going to change. But
yeah,
I mean, that's the reason why.
This
right?
this last time I had COVID, it was the worst out of all times. And the last I talked to one of my family friends, their entire family, that lives in a household, was sick from COVID and terribly, and they had COVID 1 or 2 times before. And it just affected them way different. Yeah, there's a whole new
I've only gotten it once, and it wasn't even that bad.
There's a new strain going around, and I'm glad that you haven't really had it, but I don't know what I do. Maybe I'm just, just prone to it after having only one shot.
I think it's the area you live in.
Probably, I mean...
It's very dense. Atlanta.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, man. COVID is a touchy subject for people, and...
Well, there was that doctor that was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was touching on the fact that he would be pumping out this information, and to the same point that he was making, right, this drug, he had seen it being used. he had seen it being used and working, right? And he went on
Here, try this.
nothing yet.
No, bro. No, it's not that. It's the mic.
I was about to say. Damn, that sucks.
Damn it.
Is what it is. We
This fucking sucks.
might have to improvise from here on out.
Yeah, maybe share that mic a little bit.
Yeah, switch
Yeah, we'll
mics.
just have to share this a little bit. But, anyways, he had investments tied up with the vaccines from all these different these big drug companies, these big pharmaceutical corporations like Pfizer, Moderna, so on and so forth.
Monopolies.
He had the patent. He had the patent on the drug. So of course he had the tools at hand, being in the CDC, to research this drug and so on and so forth. But he eventually had to put a patent on it, and then he sold the patent to these bigger companies. So then they gave him money for the patent, and then he also got royalties put on the patent. So every time that they would make money off of the vaccine,
He got extra.
he got
And his name
he
is?
got an extra. Who?
This guy.
Anthony Fauci?
That's
or,
Anthony Fauci.
or the guy that wrote the book?
No, you said that was the descendant of JFK's brother, right?
Oh yeah, Robert F. Kennedy
Yep.
Jr. RFK Jr.
There was one book that I read about
called The Real Anthony Fauci. Dude,
I've read
sick.
about a quarter of, but it was a book that you recommended me.
Yeah.
What was it? 3% of a man. How to become.
How to be
3%.
3% of a man.
How to be 3% of a man.
That's
or
a good
whatever the
book.
fuck. Very good, very informational, and I think you should read that. And I think every guy
how
should
is
read
his
that.
worth only
Yeah,
11 million? Anthony Fauci. Only, right?
So I mean, think
Like,
about
how is that
11
hidden?
million is still a lot of money, and so but the thing
But
is,
to have all those people die, you know,
Who,
You'd
Robert
think
F.
it'd be
Kennedy or
more,
Anthony
right?
Fauci?
Anthony Fauci.
Yeah.
But bro, so like, think about that. How much was it before COVID? Do you know?
I don't know, right? But it had to at least been somewhere pretty
What's
high.
the-
if he's
what's the
high,
date
if he's
say?
high
What's the
in
year say?
the CDC,
Dude, like,
this was 23 September 22.
Okay.
yeah, that
So
I mean,
it's probably more.
yeah, it may even be more.
That's crazy though.
That is
Yeah.
crazy because 11.
All that
but I mean,
death on
think
your
about
hands,
it,
bro.
So how does can anybody make $11 million in a government job?
No.
Like actually playing by the rules?
Nope.
Politician. I mean, what is playing by the rules when you're a politician, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's
Most-
persuasion.
the rules-
It's sales.
The rule is not to get caught.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And most
that is the rule.
most
Yeah.
higher profile politicians have done so many things that you don't even want to know about.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that shit is fucking like most people who become president, you don't want to be president at all.
I'll have to send you that podcast though, because this doctor was talking about that specific drug, and he's like, "This actually works," and he's going on Twitter,
Yeah.
right? He's trying to communicate this drug to people, and his fucking shit
can
gets
hear the
either
feedback on
shut down. Yeah, I
hear
hear
something.
something.
I think it
just some
definitely has a short in it.
feedback.
How? We'll probably have to get another one of those.
What kind of mics are these?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just some cheap mics.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
They've lasted you a while though.
Yeah, they really have. It's Samson, the Q2U.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very cheap mics, but I mean,
they
I
work.
think they were like $70 a piece.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it does work.
Look at that old charging port.
For the most part.
They did a good
I
job
do
for like
hear a
9
little bit of
months, 10
static
months.
feedback. I don't know what's going on.
I wonder what caused that to. Sometimes I wonder if like maybe somebody got like
Maybe it's like a Nintendo 64 and you got to blow in the ports real quick.
maybe
There you go.
like dust or something. Because I mean,
No, I don't think that's it.
You might need to get closer.
just drop it on the
Reset-
ground.
maybe
Yeah,
suck it
drop
off.
a little
Suck it off
mic
real
drop. Yes, sir. Did y'all ever do that? Did y'all ever have like Nintendo 64s or anything?
Mic
you just-
check.
You blew.
Even though it said,
I feel like I
don't
heard
blow.
it.
Yeah, you can hear it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Did we get it back working?
Maybe. Yeah.
That's what's
up.
playing, son.
I just had to drop. Oh, fuck.
Drop it again. Drop it again.
I just had to drop it.
Just beat the shit out of it.
Treat it like a man, like his wife in the 50s, bro.
Oh yeah, with the beater on.
Straight wife beater.
The
sandwich
is cold.
I feel like you were a wife beater, Seth.
Nah,
Don't play with me, Carson. Tell me the truth.
Nah, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about anything.
He's a politician, bro. He knows the rule.
Right,
No, I'm by the books. You know, I ain't gonna do. I would never do that.
So is every politician, right?
So,
Yeah.
Except for the ones that aren't.
what
Yeah,
what are you planning with your real estate?
Yeah, man.
Well, okay, so I took my real estate exam today and I passed it.
Okay.
Good job.
Hell yeah.
And so the next thing I have to do is I have to go and take I don't ever have to
It's
take
good
the,
now. It's
I,
good now.
I
Good
don't
thing now.
ever have to
Yeah.
go take the
That shit is
class.
working now.
Hey, yeah.
I don't have to go take the class ever again. So the only thing I have to do is go to the state board and take their exam. And if I pass that, and the thing is, if the requirements to pass that exam are lower than the requirements of the exam I had to pass today, so it should be a little bit easier for me to go do that. So if
Did
I
you
pass,
Did you go through Hondros?
no, I went through like NC School of Real Estate.
Okay.
And after I pass that, the day I walk out there, I am a provisional broker. And then like my mom, she actually has her own real estate firm, so I will work underneath her. And I will do that for a little while, and then this is like maybe talking about like maybe 3 years into the future. So like for me to be able to purchase a house, I have to have 2 years worth of income for a real estate agent. They want to see how much money I make. And so like I want to be able to buy a house, buy a car. So like that's really the main thing for the real estate. Like on the front level, I want to work as hard as I can to be able to make a lot of money, and I want to get into. Before this, I used to be a stock trader.
Yeah.
I want to get back into stock trading, and I want to get.
Were you doing like day trading or
swing trades? So
Okay.
like swing trades were more like over the course of like several months.
right? Yeah, I know.
And so what I was probably going to do is I probably won't get back into swing trading. I'm going to go back into index funds, and I want to focus on dividends.
So why do you like index more than swing?
Because I don't have to be so active in it. Like I can kind of put the money in there and forget about it.
Yeah.
And like
Safer.
like over 40 years, like it'll do fine.
Yeah.
I would
Do you
like to
plan on living for another 40 years or?
like more for family's sake. So like for like my kids, maybe.
Yeah, like
maybe
a
for,
generational wealth.
Yeah,
type of thing.
so I want to build on top of what my mom's built.
Yeah.
So, and like this actually be the first time I've talked about this, but like with the real estate stuff, I want to get into also. So when I become a real estate agent, I can also do property management. I can also
Right.
do like a form of
Yeah,
appraisal
that's really
work.
interesting.
I also learn about what attorneys do.
Yeah.
So like when you become a real estate agent, you learn a lot about. I learn about law. I
Yeah,
learn
property
about,
management is very interesting because I just started a second job actually, doing punch walks. I don't know if you know what a punch walk is,
No, what's
but
that?
it's so let's say apartments being built, right?
Okay.
And so this larger corporation is paying for the development, the construction, and the property management of this apartments, right? So what I do is I basically go in and represent the owners, the people who paid for this shit. So I go in and I go into the apartment and I got some blue tape and just mark shit off. And I got project managers, I got property managers, I got laborers, I got what else? The maintenance guys that will be on property once the shit is built. They're all walking this shit with me, and so I just mark incorrect like dinks in the fucking trim or just crazy shit, anything that's wrong, like because the mindset you have behind owning your own property, buying a property, or developing your own is you're paying and you're buying a new product, so it better fucking look like a new product.
Sure.
So that's what I've been doing, and it's really interesting because property management is, kind of way different than most of other things because you have to worry about how things look, the way things lay out, what's gonna create an inconvenience for somebody. That's the biggest thing, is inconveniences for your tenants, because when you lay out an apartment or a house, that's somebody's home. It has to be the most convenient thing for them. Everything has to be convenient, even fucking light switches,
For sure.
fridges, appliances.
Everything has
That's
to
the thing
work.
that pisses
Everything
me off
has
the
to
most
work.
when somebody fucks up the light switch. That's so fucking annoying.
Trust me, I
Whoa.
see that shit all the time. Sometimes I'll go into an apartment and I'll see the fucking craziest shit, son. Like just
Like what? Like an omen?
yeah, bro. No, just like
Dude,
Whoa.
when it's
Just
when
like-
it's not a three-way switch and they fuck up the position of the switch when they
yeah,
install
or
it,
just
that's
like,
annoying as fuck.
or just
Oh,
like
shit.
a very common thing that one property that I've been walking. So so the company that I'm working for, they're kind of they're a progressing company. They want to expand this to be able, instead of doing it for one development company, they want to do it for multiple across the country.
Yeah.
So I'll be sent to Florida, whatever. But what was I saying? They want to fucking just do it right, like
Just do it right.
Just do it right.
just making sure that things look good. It's kind
Yeah.
of weird. I don't know.
It's kind of weird to hold your company to a higher standard.
yeah, but like,
I mean, nowadays,
How
yeah, maybe,
nit-
right?
How
Yeah.
nitpicky
When everything's so cheap,
how
it should
nitpicky
be.
you have to be, because I literally, like, let's say we're just staring at a fucking white wall right here, dude. I stand.
Yeah, there it is.
I stand 5 feet away from this
good
wall,
10 minutes.
and I have to see if there's any differences in the paint matching.
Sure.
I'm literally just looking at paint, bro, all fucking day long.
Yeah, but if you're spending, right, like you said, inconveniences,
Yeah,
you're
you need it.
spending $200,000-$300,000 on a property. I want that shit
way
to
more.
look
It's
good.
way more, because we're talking about, like, one of the properties I've been walking, dude. I would say it's probably 10 buildings and some cottages, and each building has 36 to 40 units.
Oh, so you're not talking about like,
And a
do
couple-
they do like new build homes though, or do they only do like? Oh no, you said it's affordable housing, right? Is what
Yeah,
they're doing?
it's low income.
Okay,
Single
okay.
family
Yeah.
housing. So it's a bunch
Okay.
of apartments, and there's also ADA, like disabled people.
Okay.
Like American
Like-
with Disabilities Act.
Yeah,
ADA.
exactly that.
Yeah.
Just apartments for disabled people. And so it's very interesting seeing the differences, but even between a normal apartment and the ADA apartment, the hand guards for the bathroom and just all sorts of, like,
Do we have a winner?
the emergency switches, like call for help things, or even on the windows, like even the windows are very, very specific, where it's like if it's not on the balcony, if it's not on the balcony and you're more than one floor up, you have to have suicide stoppers. All the ADA apartments have to have
Whoa.
the safety pulls, so that, like, you only have to unlock one switch, and then you pull the little tab, it opens the window. Just all sorts of, like, very intricate, like, just different things that you would never think about.
Yeah.
Or, like, even things as minute as sheetrock going across the ceiling, like all the drywall on the ceiling, and you can just at the right angle, seeing the right spot, the right lighting, and you just see the drywall tape. Yeah, these motherfuckers need to come back, sand that shit down, and fix it.
Yeah.
That's how specific it is.
Yeah. Get over here right now and fix
Yeah,
this
and
shit.
sometimes I feel weird, because, like, I'm just now stepping into this field of all that construction shit, and
At a higher level.
at a higher level,
Yeah.
making more than what most laborers make on the job site. I'm getting my travel and my hotels paid for.
Well, that's
And-
sweet.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best part.
Yeah.
So they're going to be sending me to Florida in April.
Mm.
I think to Jacksonville or Orlando. But that's the biggest part is, as long as you network and make the connections, you don't have to go to school for that shit.
Yeah.
And so
you don't
just-
have to go to school at all.
No, yeah, and like
Just
Seth
drop
was
out.
saying was, that's why a lot of guys drop out from college and high school, is because you finally hit the realization that who the fuck needs that shit.
And they're making
Yeah.
more money off of
yeah,
skills.
right.
And
So
you-
the
you
and the
these
same
off of the
Investors,
trades.
how many of them have created their own millions, right? But yet they're teaching business.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
and business management
Yeah.
and whatever. When I know a lot of guys most of the guys that I met in college are construction management majors, and most of them have internships for $25 to $40 an hour.
Wow.
Under construction management. So even going to school, really choosing the correct major really puts you on the path of success, because dude, these guys are barely doing any fucking work, making $40 an hour, making damn near the same amount of
Stupid
money the project manager they're working under as. And it's like, dude, I didn't even go to school. I just got lucky and, just so happened to have a mother that's in the construction field and was able to land that job. But I feel like, a lot of kids our age nowadays have the same type of opportunity, whether that's from their parents or on social media. You can network and get the same type of opportunity.
And that's what
to
it
make
comes
that
down
money.
to, right?
You really
Studies
can.
have shown that where you're raised at is the biggest
And who you
indicator
surround yourself
on your
with.
wealth,
Right.
And that is who you surround yourself with. So you have your mother, right? You have your mom, but either way, right? You can network.
And it's not it's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
It's
Yeah,
about
it's
who
about
you
who
know.
you surround yourself with.
And it's why it's the biggest
Because
indicator of wealth. Is
one of the
your-
biggest
your,
sayings ever.
Your area.
Yeah, one of the biggest sayings ever is you become the sum of the 5 people you hang out the most with.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a big saying. And, if you're hanging around shit, you're going to be shit.
You're fucking shit.
Yeah.
Which I would say, if we come back to you getting back into religion, that's really what it's about, right? If you're waking up and you tell yourself that you're gonna have a bad day, you're gonna find things that are gonna tell you you're gonna have a bad day.
Yeah,
You go
justify
through
that.
life.
We
bro.
all
And you're
know
gonna have
people
a bad
like that.
day.
Like,
Sure.
I've been talking to you about the same guy for years. It
Are we talking about the same person? Yeah. I don't want to name any names.
Yeah, but it's just some people you just can't help, and some people they can't even help themselves, and it's hard to see.
Yeah, you can't help people who can't help themselves.
Yes,
you can
right.
lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Yeah,
Right.
It's absolutely
And
right.
And I
try,
feel like,
but
dude, that's the hardest thing to see is like having a really, really good guy in your friend group or being a really good friend with somebody, and you just try your hardest to tell them the position they need to be in, what they need to do in order to get into a better position, and all they do is just either leech off of you or just come back and complain or bring negative things around you.
Yeah.
When as a human and as a person, the only thing you really should absolutely try to bring around yourself is absolute positivity.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because if all you see,
Wholehearted entertainment.
yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
Fucking suck it.
Fucking suck this shit off.
Because if all you see and all you surround yourself with is positivity, then you'll never be able to see anything else other than positive.
Yeah.
And I feel like as of recently, that's been the hardest thing for me.
You gotta
is
have the
cutting losses.
negativity though, a little bit.
No, right, because
You
that
do.
puts perspective. That puts perspective into you, right?
Because if there's no negativity, then there's no positivity. There's
Right.
nothing.
Let's be real, right? When you're in the shit, right?
Yeah.
You really don't want to hear that you're doing a great job,
yeah.
right? Even though that's what you want to hear the most, right? But you shouldn't hear that.
Yeah, the extra
You shouldn't hear that.
The extra motivator is being told you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right.
The extra motivator is being told that you need to go to the gym, that you're too skinny or that you're too fat.
But
or that
everybody
you're
doesn't
fucking
think
weak.
that way.
Yeah, everybody needs to get bullied.
Well,
Everybody
exactly.
should get bullied.
And
Bullying
so
everybody
has
should
its
get
place.
bullied.
And so,
Facts.
but
For
that's
sure.
the thing.
To a certain degree.
Not everybody,
you know?
not everybody hears that, and not everybody needs to hear that, because there has to be somebody that loses in order for you to win.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, go bully somebody.
We need bullying.
Yeah, facts. If you're watching this, go fuck somebody's day up. It's you're
God.
doing good. You're doing good.
You're doing
maybe
you're doing
maybe you're gonna make
civilization
them
a
the next
service.
You're doing
Elon
God a
Musk.
favor.
yeah. You're doing humanity a favor, and everyone.
Yes, sir. Go bully
That's
that
why.
person.
That's why
Do it.
things have changed, especially
Yeah.
in Western society, because there has been a loss in
of bullying.
of bullying.
We need
But
to
let's
revert
be
back
real.
to Sparta.
I'm cool with it though.
Revert
Right?
back
It makes
to
it makes it easier for people like us, right?
Yeah.
It makes the competition
Yeah,
easier.
exactly.
So
because
fuck it. For sure.
No matter what aspect you view in life, there's always some sort of competition.
Well, the
Sure.
good thing about it, in this day and age, it doesn't take much to beat the competition.
No, it
as a
don't.
man,
It's-
because I think about it,
and that's
most
the
of them are stuck in
crazy.
games.
That's the crazy
Most of them
part.
are stuck watching just pornography all the time, and
Yeah.
like So to be like, let's say like maybe like top 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Cut out that bullshit and you're
Just
good.
cut
Yeah,
out that and then go
most
to the
definitely.
gym. You're already there.
Yeah, facts.
Like I've been pretty recently talking about selling my video games, is because I'll find myself getting into a grind. Like I'll be off the video game for a couple months, and I'm doing great. I'm progressing in life, and then there'll be a good hiatus where I hit the video games, and I'm playing a lot, and I'm not progressing.
We talked about that on the way here.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
really did.
It's hard. It's really hard to balance, your video games and your work life and your relationship life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as I noticed, as I stopped playing video games so much, and I stopped worrying about girls and my friends, I started focusing on myself. I noticed that I was building better relationships with my family,
Yeah.
and I was building a better relationship with God.
For
and
sure.
that
That's a good
what
thing.
has exploded my experience in life and just in positivity
Just
and being a
stopping
happier
playing video games?
person in general was stopping that dopamine rush of video games and being so distracted
Yeah.
from other things that was going on.
And you replaced it with fentanyl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
what I
that's
would
the only
do.
logical explanation.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
took it right into my retina.
Hey.
Yeah, that's good.
Hell yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
I've
bro.
been pumping test. Been pumping
Test.
test.
Yeah.
I fuck with that. Right in straight into your testicles.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No, but 100%.
Watching
I've
a lot
been
of
going to
Sam
the gym.
Solik.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
been going to the gym though.
Really?
Dude, the gym is an insane motivator.
It's another
The gym's the
equalizer.
place to be.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's an equalizer. It's a place that especially if you go to a public gym that is like, I don't know, how do you say it? That is that what puts your mind into perspective of what hard work can do for you. Because you go
Yeah.
in there, you see guys smaller than you see
Yeah.
guys who are bigger than you that might be weaker.
Yeah.
You see them doing a little less than you,
Uh-huh.
and you go in there and you see guys, 10 times your size doing more than
Yeah.
you, and you think to yourself, holy shit.
Like, whoa, I need
You
to
know,
give up.
Either that or
It's too late.
or a couple extra months of work, and I'll be at that same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you can apply that to any other position in life, then
Uh-huh.
you're always going to win.
It's humility.
No, because, yeah, exactly. And the way I work out, I always see myself, quote unquote, in battle. So, like, as I'm doing a set, I'm in battle
With yourself.
That's a fight
You're
with
fighting
myself.
yourself.
If I don't finish a rep, I lose.
What if you lose?
If I lose,
go
I do.
back.
You go back.
Yeah,
and do
but
it again.
hey, if you're fighting yourself and you lose, then you win.
Right.
I would say the only way that you win, right, is if you actually feel like you won.
Yeah, but if
Right.
you are in a battle with yourself
Sure.
and it's you against you and you lose, don't you also win? Because somebody has to lose in order to
No,
win,
the failure one.
and somebody has to win in order to
being-
lose.
The weakness one.
Yeah.
The weak you
The
won.
I
weak-
guess you
yeah,
could
the
like
weakness one and
self-project
what-
a shadow self, right?
Whoa.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
weakness one.
Fucking
and what
box
you're
your
doing-
shadow
You
boxing.
beat your past self. You beat off your past self.
You fucking jerk your past self
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Hey.
If
And
you
then
want to
you-
look at it like that, sure.
And then you take your cum and reproduce yourself.
Yeah.
Calm yourself. You
Okay. Y'all ready to wrap this shit up?
Oh, yeah.
We've been on here for 2 hours and 30
Holy
minutes.
shit, that's a long one, son.
Hell yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Hey, you're nothing. You never will be nothing.
Fuck you. Keep working. Work
Yeah.
harder if you're not.
Yeah, and if you are working hard, you're not going to be able to achieve any goals.
You won't get there.
You won't get
Fuck you.
It's way,
I'm
hey,
joking.
you.
it's way too fucking late.
Yeah.
Give up.
Fuck you.
Yeah, take that anger and go bully somebody like we
Yeah.
are. We're just doing
Yeah.
God's work.
Or play video games and jerk off all day.
Do
Facts.
fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
Do fentanyl.